Yes! Yes! Hello everybody! How are we all doing? Look at everyone in the building. Frigimonster, Cool Game 6, Lucy Fur, I haven't seen you for a long time. Paper Bag Entertainment 2.0. What's up, what's up? Yes, Nightmare, good to see you. Hi, Six, welcome back to the stream. OP Gamer in the building. How's it going? Taco, hey look, an apple. No worries, Socks with Leaves, cool name. And thank you all so much for being here. Crazy YouTuber, Faceless Art, hi. How are you, Faceless Art and Skills? You have arrived. Johan Kelly's in the building. Hello, hey up Billy Bob. Hello everyone. Bryce Stella, yeah, I don't know if it's Bryce Stella or Brice Stella, but hello there, hi. I was checking out some of your content recently. Hello there. Crunchy Doo-Doo Crumbs. I can't believe you just made me say that live on the internet. Happy birthday. Ava Caroline, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. What's up? How are we all doing this fine summer's evening? And welcome, foolish mortals, to a special birthday live stream. And I don't know why I keep calling it special. I think it's considered special because I'm live, and that's rare. As you guys know, I only go live like once, maybe twice a month. And normally, it's for all sorts of like charity events and special occasions and stuff. But today is just because I wasn't doing anything else. Bristella, got ya. Very nice to meet you. Hi, how are you? And welcome to the stream. Mr. Tibbs! Mr. President is in the building. What's up, my guy? A lot of you guys voting on this poll at the moment that says that Mono and Low are probably winning right now. I can't actually see who's winning on my screen. That's annoying. I can't tell who's winning, but 38% seems relatively high. That's bad sunburn. Oh, right, let me tell you. Sunburn is... Right, okay, so this is the thing. I love summer. I love summer. Very, very much. I love the sun. I love nature. I love animals. But I am allergic to everything that summer entails. I'm allergic to sunlight, I'm allergic to pollen, I'm allergic to animal fur. Like, literally everything will make me sneeze and snot and burn and itch and everything. And it just sucks because I absolutely love the summertime. It's so wonderful, but it's just impossible for me to actually be outside and not die. So, yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm doing okay. I fortunately, touch wood, don't have sunburn yet, but it's because I've literally been outside in this weather, and those of you who live in the UK, which is quite a few of you guys from what I recall, you'll know that it's been super hot in the UK recently. I'm drinking fizzy pop also, first one in a long time, but I've got a cheeky little beverage to see me through the stream. And yeah, it stinks. Gemini is a vampire, confirmed. Plasmatic. How long's this going to be? Probably a few hours. I'm probably going to be here for 2, maybe even 3, depending, because I don't have any plans for this evening other than this stream. I just want to chill with you guys and enjoy it. I don't actually have a specific plan. I wasn't really thinking I'm going to like play any games or anything like that. I was just going to have a conversation with you guys, have a chat, have a catch up, tell you all what's been going on in my life. You touch grass. I can touch grass, but if I do, it burns. So, like, it depends, really. It's rare that I touch grass. I've literally been outside with a winter coat on, like a winter jacket, because if I go out with bare arms, they will burn, and I'll get, like, radiation burns, and my arms will blister. I've got, like, hypersensitive skin. It sucks. It really sucks. Also, I'm kind of nervous because you can probably tell by the way I'm stammering. It's been a while since I last recorded anything like this, especially live, and there's a lot of you guys, so forgive my my anxiety. Nevada's going to be calm today. Cool. I'm allergic to sun cream. Ah, no, 6. That's the worst. Faceless Art and Skills. Hey, Gemini, I want to say thanks so much for giving me the credit in your last video. Hey, no, you deserve the credit. It was your art. It was your work. You're like, I credit where it's due, absolutely. You're more than welcome. Always credit people who deserve it. See, I have little to no artistic qualities about me. In fact, the last thing I drew was a picture of the other guy. That's the limit of my artistic prowess. I was doodling while I was waiting for the stream to start, and I was like, yeah, no, so I drew the other guy. Tune back in later. No worries, Plasmatic. That's all good. That's all good. Abba Caroline says, why some kids have powers and some don't? I think that they all go into the nowhere with some powers, but they're all subconscious. And I think that they have to undergo the trauma of the nowhere in order to unlock them. You notice how Six didn't have her powers until she overcame all of her adversities on the moor. And Mono was the same. He sort of like, he gradually achieved his power level over the course of the game. You know, at first the TV seemed to really hurt him. You know, he's really struggling with them. When you first find them and he's travelling through them, the static causes him pain and problems. But as he learns to manage and manipulate it, it's kind of like I don't know how many of you guys have seen Superman, but when Superman gets overwhelmed because he's got like super hearing and super sight and super senses, so the planet Earth is like super overwhelming to him. And yeah, that's how I imagine the TVs make Mono feel. But he eventually learns how to cope. Also, I'm sorry if I missed some of these messages. The intention of today is to actually converse with you guys and speak to you, answer your questions, theorise, speculate and share observations and such, and just talk. So I am going to read as many messages as I can and respond to them in good time. But yeah, there's quite a few of you guys, so forgive me if I'm a little bit slow or late to the game, or if I miss your message altogether. I do apologise. Just don't like summer because I'm more comfortable in winter clothes and I get scared easily by insects. Now, insects don't bother me too much, Pip, but I'm probably more comfortable in summer clothes as well. In fact, the only reason I'm wearing a t-shirt today is because it is extremely hot in here. Like, I've got, like, you guys can't see it, but my setup is just screens and computers and lights and everything. I think I've got a temperature. It is currently 27 degrees in here at the moment, so it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot in here. Like, you can probably tell by my forehead, I'm already starting to sweat a little bit, and I'm in a t-shirt. And I like the heat. I can cope with the heat, no problem. I actually cope in heat really well. Like, I can sit in a sauna or a steam room for about an hour without getting out quite comfortably. I do that all the time after the gym. I do it as recovery after my workouts. But the UV in the sunlight, it beats the crap out of my pore sensitive skin. Is the bathhouse similar to the depths? I imagine that it would be something similar to that, but on a higher level. So the bathhouse, I imagine, is quite a public place. So the depths is kind of like a deep, dank, dark, forgotten place that people want you to forget about. So, you know, the granny's just sort of left down there to rot with everything else that's just sort of floating. It's like a dumping ground. Whereas the bathhouse is more like a spa, where the kind of place where you expect to see a lot of guests going. Kind of like the restaurant on the moor, a place where you'll see a lot of people going there because they want to. So I imagine it'll be a bit more high class and a bit more well kept. It'll still be grotesque because it's in the nowhere. But I feel like it's a bit more of a holiday destination. So it'll be similar to the depths, but on the other end of the spectrum. 20 degrees, so you'll sweat, but that ain't bad. No, sweat's a good thing. Everybody sweats. Gemini, how long do you think Little Nightmares 3 is going to take to beat the game? Oh, I'm not sure how long, but I think it's going to be about 5 or 6 chapters, similar to Little Nightmares 2, I believe. I think it's going to be pretty close to that, because the price tag on it, at least from what I've gathered so far, leads me to believe that it's going to be like a fully fledged finished game. So I guess we can expect a good few hours of gameplay at least. I would expect probably 4 or 5 hours on your first playthrough. Maybe capability to speedrun in like an hour, possibly. Depending on what kind of like hacks and glitches people find, because I've no doubt people will. Oh, Taco's already weak to summer as well, as am I. I prefer the summer, honestly, but it just beats me beats me down. If a monster was to return in Little Nightmares 3, then which would you want to see the most, but in the setting of Little Nightmares 3? Ooh, that's a tough one, Jack. I don't actually know, but probably, I think if we had a returning monster, I mean, I love the teacher. The teacher is my favourite monster, but I don't feel like she would necessarily have a place in Little Nightmares 3. I feel like if we're going to see the return of anybody who's a villain in Little Nightmares 3, it's probably got to be the lady. If we're talking about villains we've already seen, I think the lady would be, because I think she's the most consistently linked with what's going on in the necropolis and the areas that we can discover from the trailer in Little Nightmares 3 so far. I feel like the lady would be a good call. I personally would love to see the teacher, but I don't think she fits the narrative. I think she was perfect in the Pale City. What they did with her was expertly done. 6 thinks they have powers. Random question, but who's your favourite superhero? Well, I don't know if he counts as a superhero, but Goku from Dragon Ball Z is my favourite superhero. He's like my hero. What's more scary, Little Nightmares 1 or 2? 2. I think 2 is much scarier in my opinion. I feel like that one is the most frightening one, just because I feel like it hits home a lot for me. You find a lot of the Japanese aesthetic in Little Nightmares 1. You know, the lady with like the geisha appearance and the restaurant being laid out like a traditionally authentic Japanese restaurant or an Asian style restaurant, whereas the Pale City is based on Britain, like 1950s Britain, the UK, where I live. And I see a lot of stuff that is reminiscent of the way I grew up, and the teacher in particular frightens me because the school is basically, it's pretty much exactly the same school that I went to, just with more porcelain freaks. How is it the one hungover? You're still cooking dinner? Mr. Tibbs, get a takeout, bro. I love summer, but it's so hot. And my aww. Yeah, good idea to take the dog out at night. Is it night over there? Well, here it's 6:15, so it's like afternoon getting into evening, but it's still bright and sunny outside. Like, I have my lights on and everything here, and the curtains closed, so I've got blackout curtains because the natural light does nothing for me. It just makes the stream look a little bit like it. Well, the natural light in this room looks like this, as you can see. It's not perfect, whereas this, much cleaner, much crisper, and you can see my tidy beard because I had a shave yesterday. You should rap Houdini, Gemini. Why does everybody make me rap? I can't. Everybody says, "Oh, you should rap," and I can't rap. At least not very well. I just talk fast. Little Nightmares beach level. Jack, that's an awesome idea. I actually love that. Imagine that, but I wonder what kind of enemy you would get. Oh, imagine we get an enemy that chases you into the water. The lifeguard. That would be cool. That'd be a really awesome concept. I've been watching, I've been looking at some channels recently. I've actually been considering doing a video where I literally just watch and shout out Little Nightmares channels. You know, like theorists and artists and people who play the game and things like that. And just like give them little shout outs and recognition. Because there's been a few channels that I've been watching recently that I find really, really entertaining. Bruce Stiller is actually one of them. Hey Gemini, oh, one second. It's going a little bit fast. I'm just going to scroll up with the chat, guys. Sorry if I'm really like taking forever to get to your questions. Hey Gemini, I was wondering if you have a Little Nightmares character you've made, because I want to draw it for you. I actually do. I have an OC, and let me hit you up in Discord, Faceless, because I do actually have an OC character that I have been wanting people to draw. I'd like it for people to draw, but the actual concept, like I have drawings of my concept and things like that, but they're my drawings and they're rubbish, so I won't embarrass myself by showing you, but I will share that with you on Discord at some point, and yeah, and I'll promote your art for you as well if you wouldn't mind. Never mind Bandage Kid or Noon, next video must be a music video. Ah. I wish there's a dog in Little Nightmares games. It could be. Asfera-chan, is he live on Twitch? I'm not. I'm unfortunately not on Twitch. I am strictly YouTube. What's your favourite Sounds of Nightmares episode? That's a really tough question because I think they're all brilliant. I love Deluge of the Inevitable, which was written with Just Jord. I think that is incredible, but maybe I'm a little bit biased because Just Jord is my favourite Little Nightmares creator on YouTube. But it's a great story. I think the actual aesthetic of the monster and the design really sung to me. I enjoyed it a lot. But I also very much enjoyed the episode with the mall. I forget what that one's called now, where she visits the mall. What's it called? It's going to bother me. If any of you guys know, let me know. But it's between Deluge of the Inevitable or the one where she goes to the mall. Because I think that's something that I'm planning on writing a theory video about soon. But obviously I need to do a lot more research before that video comes out. Do you agree that Mr. Beast needs to be the final boss of Little Nightmares 3? I think Mr. Beast is the final boss of YouTube, my brother. Like, Mr. Beast is just like the YouTube king. He just beat T-Series as well. It's like he's summoned the Avengers. He finally avenged PewDiePie. I'm so proud of him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't a bathroom what a bathhouse what a bathroom was called back in the early 1900s, but they changed it to bathroom. That could be right, because a bathhouse these days is right. I think so. Originally, the first people to ever like bathe, it was like the Romans, and they had they didn't have bathrooms in their homes. They had like a community bathroom. So it was like a room that was full of just like holes in the ground that were full of water where people would go to cleanse their bodies and such. And it was called a bathhouse. And eventually, when people started to get their own places and the economy started to progress and agriculture moved up and moved us into the industrial age and such, as people started to progress and become more and more, I suppose the word is futuristic, if that's a thing, or evolved. I don't know. I feel like I'm being offensive to Romans now because they were incredible, but yeah, originally they were called bathhouses because not everybody had a bath or a room to store the bath in. So it was called a bathhouse, but you know, these days it's like the vacuum cleaner as well. Over here, I don't know if you guys do, but we call it a Hoover. And we call it a Hoover because the name of the company because it used to be that vacuums for the carpets was actually a service that you had to employ. Someone would come around with a van. A vacuum cleaner was like a big, huge car-sized machine, and they had to like filter it in through the window and vacuum your floors. And the company was called Hoover. It was the machine was called a Hoover. So we call them Hoovers to this day, even though it's a vacuum cleaner. So like it's like all hot tubs are jacuzzis, but not. Oh, sorry, no. All jacuzzis are hot tubs, but not all hot tubs are jacuzzis. It's all vacuum cleaners, all Hoovers are vacuum cleaners, but not all vacuum cleaners are Hoovers because it's more the brand name than anything. Anyway, sorry, tirade over. What's your favourite Little Nightmares song? Ooh, that's really tough. That's really tough because there's so many good ones. So many good ones. I think the one I've been listening to the most recently is by Rocket Gaming, and it's the Viewers Rap. And I think that is my current favourite, but it changes depending on what mood I'm in. I feel like it's quite an emotional song, and I like it a lot because the Viewers were actually my least favourite enemy in Little Nightmares 2 until I listened to this song, and it kind of humanised them for me. And now I relate to the Viewers in such a way that they are actually one of my favourite enemies now. And I love the Pale City a lot more. It used to be that the Pale City was my least favourite area, but now I absolutely love it. And it's because of the way that song is written that really humanised the Viewers for me and gave me some relatable foundation to enjoy what they represent. Do you think fall's better than summer? I prefer summer, honestly. Nevada, I think summer is my favourite. 6 is a lady, and Mono is a thin man, and who's going to be low? Maybe the north wind. There's some instances where, like, so in the comics, if we take a look at the north wind has an affiliation with ravens and crows. So if we take a look at the north wind here, there, you see? Kind of looks like Lo's mask a bit, doesn't it? And then the aesthetic of the area is kind of like a rough, arid sort of desert. So if it was one of them like cyclical enemies, that like, and it all depends on if that is the case. Lo might not be any of these, but I think if he was going to be any, like if it turns out that he is someone we know and are already familiar with, then Lo would end up being the North Wind, I think, in my opinion. Let's see. Happy birthday, thank you, Electron Mang. I appreciate that. Oh, Theatre of the Mind, yeah, Theatre of the Mind's a really good one. They're all great though. Sounds of Nightmares is a phenomenal series. If any of you guys haven't listened to the Sounds of Nightmares, I'm sure you all have, but it is truly excellent. It really, really is phenomenal. What's your favourite show? Any recommendations? A bit random, I know. Oh, you know what, right, it's tough to say because I do not watch TV. I don't watch Netflix, I don't really watch movies. I'm literally on YouTube for like 14 hours a day. It never goes off, ever. It's always on, if you know, whether that be playing music or study tunes or just research. You know, I'm always on YouTube, and I work a lot too. I work like 2 jobs back to back, so I find very little time to actually sit and watch TV. If I ever do actually sit and watch a movie, it's either a horror movie or a Disney of some description, because I love Disney movies and I love horror movies. But I think show would probably be an anime like Dragon Ball Z or One Punch Man or something like that, because they're the only ones that I've actually sat and watched in full. Or Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty as well, that's excellent. Does the giant baby in MLT have a mother? I don't know. It looks more like a construct than anything. I don't know if it necessarily has a mother, but it probably has a creator. And that creator could be the lady. Again, if you guys will remember that I mentioned It's Just Jord earlier. Jord made a video probably 6 months ago, maybe more, where he actually said that he thinks he's found a link between the lady and the monster baby. So rather than me expand on it, it might be worth you checking out his video for those links. It's stuff that does make sense if you think about it logically, but everything's up in the air at the moment. Ryan Wood is in the building. Thank you so much, my brother. It's great to see you. I'm so glad YouTube hasn't kicked you off again today. Mind saying that, by the time I'm reading this message, it probably has. But yeah, I really appreciate you being here, big man. It's always good to see you. Crazy YouTuber. Could the lunch lady be in the lollipop factory for an enemy? I know she was at the school, but it could be a prequel. She could be. The truth is, right, I will never discredit anybody's thoughts and theories, because the truth is we don't know anything. We don't know anything yet. So it's true that these characters could be anywhere. You know, like something that we do know is that Roger was in the Pale City before he was on the moor. But when we played Little Nightmares 1, we didn't know that. We had no idea. So it could have been speculated in the past, like 6 years ago, it could have been speculated that Roger was from the Pale City. Some people would guess he was. Some people would guess he was created on the moor. Some would have been right, some would have been wrong. So it could very well be that we'd see the lunch lady there. I doubt it, because I feel like the lunch lady has her place, the same as the teacher had her place in the school. But there's no reason she couldn't. I just feel like if they were going to recycle her, they would keep her strictly in the school cafeteria area, because she might seem a little bit out of place in a factory. They could retcon her design, though. They could make it so that she's not necessarily a lunch lady, but she's more a factory, like a line worker. You know, somebody that has to... You know when you see people in factories and they all wear the aprons and they have to take stuff off the conveyor belts. I don't know why I'm doing this action like you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's all everything is a possibility at this point. He's the first black person, which is cool. Yeah, it's awesome that we got a black character now. That's really awesome. I tell you what, though, we did have other black characters, but they didn't really have a major role. They were in the digital comics, you know, the Little Nightmares 2 electronic comics. In Mono's chapter, a couple of children in that Mono was hiding out with, they were black. The teacher casually shows up in Little Nightmares 3 and is like, why am I here? Yeah, exactly. She just walks in with a ruler looking around like, what do I do? What Little Nightmares 3 and is Gemini rapping Low and Alone? Ah, like me versus Low and Alone in a rap battle. And does Giant Baby... Oh, just roaming around. That'd actually be awesome. If you like, imagine if you defeat the monster baby and then you have to beat the monster mother, and it's just some gargantuan Godzilla-sized freak show that just comes stumbling into prey. That would be absolutely petrifying. God, I hope not. Who came up with the term spectrals? I've never heard it before. One of your videos from comments. Is it an official term? It's not, Jack. It's not. So somebody told me that it was an official term, but it's not. It was actually a mistranslation. So in episode 6 of The Sounds of Nightmares, the ferryman speaks, and he kind of speaks in riddles, but at one point he says, I feed the spectrum's other end. But he said spectrum, as in he feeds the spectrum's other end. But this person interpreted that as the spectrals. I feed the spectrals. And then they got from that the spectrals must be the overseers of the nowhere, you know, like the signal tower, the you know, the big fleshy mass with all the eyes and stuff. That's what these spectrals are supposed to be, but it's not an official term. It was a mistranslation, that's all. It was from the ferryman saying the spectrum's other end in, I think it was episode 6 of The Sounds of Nightmares. Could have been 5 or 6, I'm not sure. But it was the ferryman that said it. So if you listen to what the ferryman has to say, you'll get where that came from. But no, the spectrals is not a term, but I use it now and again because a lot of people have come to get it. The same as the Veronica song. The Veronica song is not the Veronica song at all. It's an old skipping song from playgrounds in Scotland in the 1950s, and it's called Down in the Valley. But it's more commonly known as the Veronica song because internet. Dude, Gemini. Yes. John Kelly, do you think the Maw is going to be in Little Nightmares 3? I hope so. I really do hope so. And also, I actually wanted to bring this up. Somebody in my comments section, because I said in a theory video that if we do visit the Maw, then it'll probably be like broken and defunct. You know, because no one's running it anymore. Six came in, she trashed the place, she murdered everybody, and then she's just basically floating around on the place. And I thought that if we do visit the Maw, it will be all defunct and everything. But something that somebody else said in my comments section, I can't take credit for this. I wish I could remember who said it now, but I will shout them out in a future video because I do read comments on videos sometimes, and I read my favourite ones, and this one really stuck with me. But they said that they think if we visit the Maw again, it'll because it's beached, it crashed. Because obviously nobody's driving it. There's nobody steering the Maw or anything like that. There's nobody in control of it. So it'll just be like beached. It'll have crashed into the beach, and so it'll all be like broken and run down and everything. And it'll all be like have like cracks and leaking in it and everything. It'd just be awesome to see. If we do, it'll probably be that, you know, we leave the circus and we head onto a beach. And we get chased by the lifeguard or something. We're running along the beach and we find somewhere to hide, and it happens to be the Maw that's crashed on that beach. Wouldn't that be cool? Sorry, this the chat jumps also because there's quite a lot of people. You play Elden Ring? I never played Elden Ring. No, it looks absolutely incredible, but I didn't get to play it. I just couldn't afford it at the time, and now it's been done to death. What about Little Nightmares fan games? Yeah, I do play those. I do play Little Nightmares fan games. I played one called Obusite, I don't want to say recently, it was probably like 2 years ago. But yeah, I played one called Obusite, and it was really good. Obusite means shell-shocked in French. And the enemy was like a war veteran who would go around his house with a camera, and if he caught you in the camera, it had a similar effect to how you like Leshy's camera in Inscription, or the eyes from Little Nightmares, where if you get caught in the flash, you just disappear, sort of thing. It was really cool. I loved the concept. It was really well done. Sorry, not a big fan of summer since I get too hot. Literally have boiler and heater attached. Jeez, really? Yeah, it must be like a sauna in your room. Imagine getting turned into a mushroom by a scary Japanese woman and then being lunch for a yellow-coated child. Couldn't be me. No, miss me with that. Miss me with getting eaten by a yellow child. That terminology was class nightmare. A bathhouse was an area for everyone to bathe. It's basically full with baths, that's right. They've been renowned about that. So basically a house is a giant bathroom. Yeah, pretty much. Well, thanks. You are welcome, Bristol. What became of? What about... Oh, yeah, sorry, I read that one. What if Lo is the mirror monster? Lo could be the mirror monster at this point. We don't know. I feel like that concept has been done a little bit, though, you know, with Mono being the Thin Man. I think if Lo turns out to be the mirror monster, it'll be a bit predictable. I feel like because of the cyclical nature of, well, the cycle of Mono, Thin Man, Mono. I feel like the fact that that's been done most recently in Little Nightmares games, then people will be expecting it, and I feel like people might be a little bit disappointed if it turns out that Lo is in fact the Mirror Man. New enemy in Little Nightmares, beach ball. You're actually smart. Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading comments and sometimes the same. Can I say my theory right now? 6, you can say your theory whenever you want. Sure. Are there animals? Are there animals? So there are animals that we see. You know, like we see leeches, we see beetles, and there's a couple of insects and things like that as well that we can spot in the Maw and the Pale City. But there doesn't seem to be like any real malformed. Well, actually, there must be, because the hunter has them, doesn't he? The hunter has them in traps, like, because we know there's rats. We see plenty of rats, and we also see a moose's head on the hunter's wall. And if we look into the artworks, the official art book for Little Nightmares 2, I think there was a concept for a pig. There was a pig and there was a moose. There could have been a deer as well, I think. Tough to recall, but yeah, there definitely are animals in the nowhere. But I don't know if they're affected the same way the children are, or if it's just only animals that people are afraid of. Like, you won't find any bunny rabbits in the nowhere. Saying that, they're quite nasty as well. I got bit by a rabbit once and it really hurt. I've still got the scar. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you for all the happy birthdays, by the way. Yeah, you know what else is really funny? I got a notification today from my channel. I played Little Nightmares 1. I uploaded my playthrough of Little Nightmares 1 on my birthday today, but 4 years ago. I think it was 4 or 3. 3 or 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure it said 4 years ago. I have a theory about the Maw, since I remember Noon mentioned a voice talking to her and that sound the Man in the Hat was playing. So I was wondering if the Thin Man was trying to communicate. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. I didn't recognise that the Man in the Hat was playing when the voice was talking to her, though. That's actually cool. Yeah, that is a thought. I've got a couple of theories surrounding the sounds of nightmares, but I'll hold them for now because you guys are going to see them in upcoming videos because I am working on stuff a little bit more now. I have my own Little Nightmares OC. Their name is Filter, and they wear a gas mask. I love that. Filter, what a good name. Yeah, that's excellent. I'd love to see a concept of that drawn up. That'd be really cool. How many bad guys do you think are going to be in Little Nightmares 3? Probably 4 major ones. I think there's going to be like 4 main enemies, like boss enemies, and then there'll be other stuff that you find throughout, you know, like the beetles that we've obviously seen in the Necropolis. Kind of like hands, leeches, patients, viewers, bullies, you know, like sub-enemies. I think we'll see some of those as well. Maybe a bit more of that now, because now that our characters have got tools, you know, or like pseudo weapons, Law with his bow and arrow, and then Alone with her massive wrench, I feel like we could definitely be seeing more combat or more combat heavy gameplay in Little Nightmares 3. So I think there will probably be quite a lot of enemies, but there'll be like 4 major ones that we just can't fight against. You know, we'll have to trap or something. But the minor enemies, I reckon, we'll be able to fight back against. So probably 4 major enemies, but 8 enemy concepts in total. Once 6 escapes, you see that Hunter. People say he was saving her for taxidermy, but I disagree. He tried to kill her at first rather than kidnap her. Oh, did he? I thought he immediately kidnapped her. That was the impression I got from the digital comic. What if Little Nightmares takes place during World War II? See, this is something else as well. I wondered if it was like a post-apocalyptic thing, but funnily enough, it would take place near wartime. At least if the aesthetic is anything to go by, because the Little Nightmares. The Nowhere, the Little Nightmares universe, from what I've seen, is based on the past. Like, it's always history. It's never like a futuristic concept, is it? It's always stuff that you don't really see anymore. And I think that really adds to the effect of the Little Nightmares universe. It's real creepy and dystopian, but eerily familiar. It's all stuff that you know you've seen before. It's never anything new, but it's like stuff that you're not familiar with. Like the old like 1950s style school, and the Pale City, the layout of the Pale City, the televisions in it are all from the 50s, and like the old oil radiators that you find everywhere, even the furniture, like the layouts and the upholstery on all of the furniture is just real old and tattered and just like that. So it could very well take place in wartime for all we know. If you look at British soldiers, you can see his clothes resemble it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, they do, actually. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely. And weirdly enough, the Hunter's sack looks a lot like an old World War I gas mask. Because the old gas masks didn't used to look like they do now, you know, with the sophisticated filters and goggles and neurosensors and everything like that. It was literally just like a burlap sack with a hose in it. And it looked really eerie. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to upload it in a future video. But yeah, oh god, they're horrible. Do you like Billie Eilish music? The only one I like is Bad Guy. But I'm not a massive fan of Billie Eilish. I just don't really listen to her very much. I don't think she's a bad artist. Like I say, I've only ever heard the one song and I liked it. So. Sorry, I've lost my place again. Plasmatic. A monster that is ghost-like, travels through shadows and goes through walls. Ooh. What would we call it? The Spectre. The Phantom. Yeah, think of a name for that. That'd be cool. I feel like the North Wind would be a really good concept for that, because he is kind of ghost-like. You know, he's kind of misty. I actually seen a really good artistic impression of the North Wind, and it was just, it was excellently done because it was horrible to look at. It was a brilliant image. Again, I wish I could show you guys, but if I close this screen, the whole chat will die. So I'm gonna refrain from doing that. But you guys can find it easy enough on Google if you type in Little Nightmares North Wind Deviant Art. Let's see. I had a theory a while ago that Law was the Mirror Man, as obviously he can warp through mirrors. And also, we know the Mirror Man can change forms. It's a very loose theory, but I believe it's possible. It absolutely is possible, Squiddy, because he has those powers for a reason, and none of us actually know why, apart from the creators of Little Nightmares themselves. And even there will be, like, I think a lot of that will be in debate at the moment. I honestly feel like sometimes they leave us in the dark because, not because they know the answers and they want us to figure them out, but because they want us to theorise and come up with the best answer, and then they'll pick that one and just be like, yeah, that sounds good, that's canon. You know, just like whoever's got the best theory ends up becoming canon. He was trying to help Sticks after realising she was an enslaved victim, hiding her in the basement, just like people did with the Jews and stuff in World War II. Yeah, well, that's interesting as well, because, like, the children do seem to be persecuted in the Nowhere as well. So if he was, like, because he's hiding out there for a reason as well, isn't he? You know, the hunter. I don't think the hunter is working with the Thin Man, or, you know, the overseers of the Nowhere or anything like that. I don't think he's inherently evil, because he's trying to hold on to his humanity. You know, he's building a family in his home and things like that. He keeps his house. He lives off the land. He destroyed his television. He doesn't keep any electronics in his house, even as a pet gnome. So yeah, it's possible that the hunter is just living off the grid, and maybe he was like, oh, you know, if I let this tiny yellow person go running around, well, she wasn't yellow then, but if I let this little tiny person go running around and make her way across the water to the Pale City, she's going to get killed. She's going to get eaten. You know, maybe I can keep her and protect her and look after her and stuff. And then Mono shows up and steals her. So yeah, maybe the wholesome hunter theory does have some merit, but I'm not sure. He didn't seem very wholesome when he was gunning me down at point blank range about 4 times in a row the first time I played through Little Nightmares 2. But yeah, he always shoots. I even try to, just when I was doing some research trying to prove one of my theories, like it's called the domestic theory. And it was probably the most recent one I've put on the channel. The domestic theory is about, you know, and I said that the wholesome hunter might be an actual thing. And in order to prove that theory, I played through the hunter section about 10 times back to back, and intentionally tried to make him shoot 6. He doesn't, ever. And I know that's just like it could just be a game mechanic. Like, why would he aim for 6? It doesn't make sense. You're the character. You're the playable character. So from a gameplay perspective, I totally understand. But from a theorist's perspective, from the outsider looking in, then it's like you could take that as, well, why does he only shoot Mono? Why does he never shoot 6? It would be just as easy to, because you'd still lose the game if he shot 6, right? You couldn't progress if he shot 6, right? So why doesn't he? Yeah, just food for thought anyway. I have a very interesting theory. The guests from Little Nightmares 1 are actually the final form of queso. Billy Bob and his mad confirmed theories. Hey Gemini, have you listened to the Little Nightmares song called Endlessly? Because, oh my god, it's so haunting and emotional. Yeah. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I like all of those kind of songs that relate specifically to the characters. I just feel like they hit really hard for people like us that hyperfixate on the franchise itself, and we get really connected to these characters. So these songs that come out of the mouths and are written by the people who share the same passion for this series as we do, they get it, you know. So they really get it. It's the same reason why that Viewers song really hits me. You know, where they're singing, one of my favourite line in the song is, if you only knew of the view. And it's like, that's why the viewers want you to see, they're so desperate to catch you. Not because they want to hurt you, but because from their perspective, what they can see is like heaven. It's bliss. It's like pure, unadulterated, unfiltered perfection. And they're like, you have to see it. You have to. You don't understand, and you'll never understand until you see it. If you only knew of the view, you would see, just look. You know, and they're trying to show you because they want you to see what they see. And like that, the passion in the creature actually comes across really, really well because of that song. Bruh. I keep forgetting what the North Wind is. Can someone remind me? Oh, the North Wind was a villain from the original Little Nightmares comics. Them ones back there. He was it was just a brief story where there was a little boy and a little girl, and they were running through like a deserted like hellscape. They had to escape from a village, and they were being constantly chased by the North Wind. And the North Wind is like an ethereal ghost-like entity that was just constantly pursuing them all the time. I won't spoil the ending because it's actually got a twist ending to it, which is really cool that you'll be intrigued to read if you do. It's pretty easy to find online. Like, you don't have to own the comic. I actually had to go way out of my way to get hold of that. But yeah, if you look it up online, you'll be able to see the North Wind. But he's a villain. And he's a Little Nightmares bad guy. You can also see that the concept art, it was supposed to have a watchtower, comparing that to the World War II watchtowers. It looks like, yeah, absolutely, yeah. See, that actually does reinforce the fact that the hunter could be a soldier, you know, or a veteran. You know, maybe that's why he wears the mask. Maybe he was disfigured during the war. He could have been shot. It could be a shrapnel injury. He's got a torn arm, hasn't he? You know, he's got like a taxidermied arm where his arm's been ripped off, or at least damaged heavily. So it's an absolute possibility. Oh man, now I feel bad. Like the hunter could be a straight up World War veteran and we shot him. Oh my god, we're the asshole. I don't believe it. We're the bad guy. Most likely assume Mono was with 6, and then we have the Doctor. The Ferryman takes troubled children away to a magical world dissociated from our understanding of time and space. He's basically Peter Pan and the Nowhere is Neverland. Straight up, yeah. I thought that as well. I was like, what if from their perspective, that's exactly what they're doing? You know, because he does, doesn't he? He does that for the in the comics that I've just said I won't spoil. But you know, he can be seen doing that in the comics, and he does it for Noon in The Sounds of Nightmares as well. You know, she's traumatized and abused, and she's struggling, and she's got a lot going on. Yeah, so absolutely a possibility. Absolutely. Also, just so you know, if you haven't already dropped me a thumbs up on this video, please do, because I'm hoping that this video will eventually get to 50 likes. I feel like if it does, it'll be my most liked live stream ever, at least while I've been live. So if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button for me, please do. And if you know anybody that would like to be involved with this stream and you think they're missing it, or you haven't seen any of our regulars pop in, just drop them a little message and be like, hey, do you know Gemini's live? Come say happy birthday. I keep forgetting it's my birthday, but I do have cake, so I'm happy. Where was I in this? Oh yeah, Mr. Tibbs. The North Wind is also a Greek god reference to Euros, which was the god of wind, but translates to the North Wind. That's really cool, Mr. Tibbs. That's an excellent observation. I love ancient references like that, you know, to all ancient Greek and Egyptian mythologies and stuff, because they used to have a name for pretty much everything. They had a sun god, a moon god, a death god, a life god, a water god. You know, they had everything. That's really cool. Uros, or Euros, Uroboros. What if Little Nightmares is a distorted version of our world? I think it is. I think the reason the Nowhere it seems so timeless is because it's a mashed amalgamation of children's thoughts and interpretations of the world around them, and that's why everything's so like warped and distorted and oversized. Like, you know, why are all the drawers so massive? Like, why are they so big that you could climb inside them and stuff? Like, why do the adults seem 100 times bigger than they need to be? What's going on? And I think it's all down to their own interpretation, their phobias, playing with their minds and distorting the images of what they see. So it's definitely a possibility that Little Nightmares, the Nowhere, is a distorted version of our world, because I think that's what it is. It's just a fabricated version. Possibly the surgeries on the mannequins represent the experiments. Yeah, that's a possibility as well. Definitely. Have you ever played Dead by Daylight? No, I haven't. I've watched a few people play it, but I don't like multiplayer games. I've never been a fan of like PvP games and stuff like that because I just rage way too much. So if I lose, everyone loses. Haran says, if Necropolis reflects Pompeii, what if that means that in some way Little Nightmares have Greek mythology-inspired monsters like birds with human heads or gorgons? Oh yeah, like harpies and stuff like that, or a chimera of some kind. Yeah, now that would be really cool if they sort of like leaned more into the kind of Greek aesthetic, because like the Greeks, again, they have some of the best mythology ever written. It's amazing, and their monster designs were spectacular. I don't know if there would be I don't know if they would match the aesthetic of the Nowhere that we've come to know and love, but who knows, maybe they can make it work. I wonder. I'm trying to think what type of beetles they are, but I think they look more like rhinoceros beetles and scarab beetles. I was thinking more like an Egyptian sway on things, because like the Egyptians have a necropolis as well. But obviously if we're thinking Pompeii, then we're thinking more Greece. Yeah, 6, that's actually a dope theory about the war. Sorry, I'm just catching up. It's a long one, but I am reading it, I promise you. It would be cool to have an enemy called the Puppet Master, but that's basically the purple purple guy. Don't worry, he always comes back. Also, I finally got my fabric for my Alone cosplay. Oh, that's cool, you're being alone. Wicked. So is it bright green? You go for the lime green. Hey, Gold Games is back. How are you? Sorry it's taken so long to get your messages, by the way, guys. It's been a while since I've sat and done something like this. Nevada, I have a theory. What if the lady and the thin man... the lady is 6. The lady is 6's mum and the thin man is Mono's dad, and Mono turns into his dad again. You know what? That was an early theory, at least about 6, because in the 6's quarters you can find a picture of a girl in a yellow raincoat, and you can see that very same girl on the moor. And there's another picture of her that's been taken off the wall with the face scribbled out. And at first, a lot of people were like, well, is that girl 6? And who is the lady then? Is the lady 6's mother? Or maybe she's disowned her or something like that. And it's interesting to think about. And again, we still actually don't know that she's not. We've never had it confirmed. I know it's sort of like socially accepted that she's not, and it's more likely that 6 would replace the lady and she ends up killing her, but we've never ever had it confirmed that the lady is not 6's mother. But we've also never had it confirmed that she is, so everything's left open to wild interpretation. Seven is from the Pale City, because remember we saw the photo that seemed like 7 within the school. Where was that, Noah? Because it sounds vaguely familiar to me, but I can't picture the exact screenshot of where the picture of 7 is. Do you mean like by 7? Do you mean the runaway kid, by the way? Just because I know a lot of people call him 7. I always call him Runaway Kid, just because. That was his official name. I always try and use the official names that were given by Tarzia. But yeah, if you mean him, then where did you see that picture? Let me know, please, if you would be so kind. 6 Asian or something. She does kind of, the characters do look kind of Asian, but it's difficult to say. I felt like they were like intentionally obscuring the characters' faces and stuff. So that they don't force you to associate with like one particular ethnicity or another. There's the character's origin you know, like their colour, their ethnicity, their race. It never really came into it. It's a null factor, isn't it? It's like it doesn't matter. Like it wouldn't matter if Six was black, white, bright green. You know, it's I always felt like the reason that they hide the characters' appearances is so that you don't associate the character and their personality and their actions with whatever race or culture they appear to be or be descended from. So they were all just like cookie cutter protagonists. Lo is in fact the only one where specifically it's like, yeah, he's black and he has afro, like, well, not afro, I don't know what that style of hair is called, but it's a traditionally black hairstyle. But it's never been a primary focus because it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's possible. A theory, a game theory, and cut. No, that's film theory. Never mind. Oh, I missed MatPat. I only just discovered him. I discovered MatPat on the day he left YouTube. That's how disjointed I am. Yo, Gemini, I drew a piece I found of your OC. I don't know if it is, but I decided to try. Oh, thank you so much. I'll check that out, Faceless. That was really fast, by the way. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like, fan art is a massive thing for me. Like, and just artwork in general. I don't. You know what? I always find it weird calling it fan art because I don't refer to you guys as fans. I refer to you as viewers because not everyone that watches me is a fan. It's true that like the people that enjoy my content and watch it could be considered fans, but I don't like addressing people as fans because number one, I'm not that big. I'm a YouTube nobody from the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Pardon my French. But also some people who watch me literally watch me because they don't like me. Like if you were to look at my analytics, there is a couple of people who literally will go through every single video just to dislike it. Like it's consistent all the way across the board, and it has been for a year. Like people will actively come to my channel to troll or to hate, and that's fine. You know, like it is what it is. It's the internet. I don't expect to get on here and everybody just love what I do and enjoy my content and really like me as a person. You know, I don't appeal to everybody. Nobody appeals to everybody, and if you do, you're the Antichrist. So, you know, there's got to be something wrong with you if you appeal to everybody. Then you're probably trying too hard. Where was I going with that? But yeah, that's why I don't call you guys fans, and why I never really refer to it as fan art, because you might not be a fan. You know, you might just be a person who watches me. Yeah, but either way, moving on. Happy birthday. Thank you, Alexander. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you, Faceless Art and Skills. I will absolutely check that out as soon as I'm done with the stream, because I'm excited to see that, actually. Do you think Lollipop Kid is you as a kid? Lloyd's Corey Kenshin as a kid. I mean, maybe. It's a possibility. Corey Kenshin is considerably better looking than I am, so probably. Because I think Lo, like, even though Lo wears a mask, he comes across as like quite a handsome little dude. Lollipop Kid's always got that like sad and defeated expression, like me. Plasmatic, so my guess is that he found out from secretly looking in personal diary of hers, overheard someone else, or even seeing her vanish in her sleep, which Otto must have witnessed once or twice. Sorry, I think I missed the first part of that. I did miss the first part. Oh god, I missed loads. Sorry. It's because the chat jumps, so like after it gets to a certain amount of messages, it'll just jump a huge chunk and I'll miss like 20 messages or something. I'm not trying to be ignorant, guys, I promise you. The intention of sitting here like this in a stream is to address as many people as I can in real time as it's happening. And if I don't, I'm really sorry. It's just like, right now there's like 30 of you or something like that, and I can keep up with 30 to a reasonable degree. But as the channel continues to grow, I worry that it'll get to 60, 90, 100, 1,000. You know, like when I watch people like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye when they go live, it's impossible for them to keep up with their chat, so they don't even try. And it makes them really sad that they can't communicate with the people that are giving them life. You know, the people that love them and support them and care about what they do and everything like that, they don't even know. You know, they can't even keep up with the chat as it's going by. And I'd hate for it to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love for it to get to that point from a popularity standpoint, but it also worries me that a lot of you guys will eventually start to think that I'm being ignorant, and that's never the case. Like, I hugely value my audience. Like, you guys mean a lot to me, which is why I'm spending my birthday. Like, it's my birthday today, just in case the stream's title wasn't obvious. But it's my birthday today, and I couldn't think of anything I would rather do than spend it with you guys, theorising and speculating and sharing observations and stories and just catching up, because it's nice, isn't it? You know? And it's a way for us all to communicate and be a part of the community together. And it will be a huge shame if one day you think, well, I don't want to watch Gemini anymore because he's ignorant and he never speaks to me, he never answers my questions, he doesn't read my comments. And, you know, it's literally just because I'm only one guy and I'm limited. I hate that I'm limited, but that's the reason I do streams like this, so that I can, you know, so that I can answer you guys as and when. Have I got birthday cake yet? Yes, I did. My mum made it for me. I've had one slice, but I'm trying to be good because, you know, Jim. Hunter was skinning an animal when Six escaped. Perhaps he was preparing to taxidermize his final family member. A daughter, perhaps? Yes, absolutely, yeah, he didn't have a daughter, did he? Oh, maybe that's what he was going to use Six for. Maybe he's not so wholesome after all. Maybe he just wanted to use her as a mannequin. Yeah, the guests representing the politicians and Nazis and such. Yeah, you're like political fat cats, you bigwigs, the people with all the money that are calling the shots. Yeah, I can see that. With a red plumpish face. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about me there. Can't wait to play the second attack. I couldn't agree more, Ghoul. I absolutely cannot wait to play this game. What makes a hunter a bit more eerie is that everything on the kitchen is still working. Like, kettle's already burnt or water, like... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like his food is on the table and stuff, but it's just left there, isn't it? It's like he doesn't... But he does have a fridge that he uses. Like, everything in it, you don't know how long the stuff's been in there, but it's there and it's functional. It is. It's just so backwards and strange. Ugh. But this is why we love it. That's why he didn't shoot her. He needs her. Yeah, quite possibility. Do you think Lois Corey Kenshin? That's sorry, I've read that one. I'm trying to go now. Abyss, hey, how you doing? It's great to see you in the stream. Sorry, it probably took me like half an hour since you probably sent this message ages ago, and I'm only just now catching up with it. But hi. We're still with that on there. Let's see. Oh shoot. Sorry, I just lost half of the chat. Where do I start from? Gemini, do you think the Thin Man is Michael Jackson? No, I don't. But I mean, not a bad representation if he was based on him, though. Also, with the sudden disappearance for good this time, led him to believe that she hadn't gone away forever willingly, unaware of the truth that she had in fact went of her own free will. Yeah, that's it. Like, she was like constantly invited to the nowhere, and eventually life got so bad that she was like, well, the nowhere can't possibly be worse than what I actually live through every day, so yeah, screw it, I'm going. Yeah, because Noon went of her own accord, didn't she? Like, she went with the ferryman. Like, she just like took his hand and off she went. Man behind the circus. I really can't wait to see what they do with the circus enemy, because like the obvious one to me is, well, there's two possibilities. Either they're gonna use the enemy concept that they came up with in the Sounds of Nightmares, like the man in the purple hat, or the man in the purple suit, sorry, with the puppet master, like ringmaster kind of guy, that kind of enemy, or a clown, because clowns are like conventionally terrifying. At least they are these days. Do Do you play FNAF? I don't play FNAF. I have before, like way back in the day, but very briefly, and I wasn't very good at it. But it is great as FNAF. Pip the Silly. I would get my words out properly. Put my teeth back in. I would think Mono liked 6, but 6 didn't return those feelings. But I don't think much about it because I don't focus on shipping. Yeah, I don't focus on shipping either. Like, I feel like, you know, if there is any kind of, like, relationship between these characters, it's like, it's kind of cute. They're like, you know, like, that sort of thing. But it's not like the primary focus. I don't feel like at their age they could, like, you know, make a decision, be like, oh, you broke my heart, so I'll kill you. Like 6 does. Like at that kind of age, you don't really get, like, I think you can understand heartbreak but not from a romantic standpoint. More like when you have a pet and it dies. God, what a dark. Little Nightmares brings out the absolute worst in me. Smash that like button like Mono smashed the bullies. Have a time. He was also in denial and dreading deep down over the idea that occurred to him later in his life, and that was the reason why Cece left him. Who could he be the reason? Gut feeling of his. So unfortunately true as he implied. Cece felt relieved. Otto has storming out in a panic attack, saying he was only a boy. So he has a guilty conscience about it. Yeah, not plasmatic. It's all good, and don't don't worry. It's just I'm trying to read it, but I don't want to read it in pieces. I want to like read it all at once and digest it. Because when I'm getting it in pieces, I sometimes mix up your comments with other people's, and I'm like, hang on a minute, why does Otto's gut feeling have anything to do with World War II? And then I'm like, right, because I'm reading two people's comment streams. In sync. So like, forgive me, I'm reading them, I promise. I'm just trying to put it all together. But yes, you have some very valid points in there. It's interesting to think of like Otto's feelings regarding Cece and what happened to her. He feels like, you know, now he's doing something right by her. You know, he feels like he's rescuing her from the nowhere. He's trying to find her again. But does he blame himself for what happened to her back then? I don't know. But but like maybe he's struggling to forgive his past self for what happened to Cece, whether or not he could have done anything about it. Gemini, how old are you now? Like 150. Genshin Impact ad. No, not adverts. Yeah, by the way, you guys will get ads. It sucks. It's really annoying. Like, don't get me wrong, I can choose to turn ads off, but if I turn them off, I don't get paid. And I need money desperately, but I have put them on conservative, so the ads, you shouldn't get too many. There's option, it gives you, like, okay, this is funny actually, it gives you options for how many adverts it puts on a live stream, and it gives you 3 options between conservative, modest and aggressive. It literally has aggressive as an option, and that just you know, that will just inundate you guys with adverts where the stream is practically unwatchable, and I don't want that. But the lowest option I could choose is conservative, so hopefully you don't get too many adverts, but I do desperately need money at the moment. Just something that I will share with you guys. Anyone that's read the description will know this already. But I'm going to say this now because it's very difficult to talk about, but it is something that I've wanted to bring up, and there's enough of you here now for me to say this and have it heard and let it be understood. My content has been lacking a little bit recently in consistency, and I have been a bit late to the game, slow with replies, not talking a lot on Discord, not uploading a great deal. It's because I've been putting in a lot of extra work, and it's sadly because I found out a couple of weeks ago that my mum has cancer. She has lung cancer. And just the other day we found out that it's completely inoperable. So she's undergoing like chemo and radiotherapy, but they can't conduct surgery on her because she won't make it, which makes me very sad. And it's very difficult to talk about. And what's more problematic, and the main reason why money is such a an issue at the moment, which is why this isn't a charity stream. It's just me streaming, and the reason I've got ads on here and inundating you guys because I need to pull some cash in is because although we in the United Kingdom don't pay for our health care, she has to go to a few towns over, like she has to go and stay in another city in order to receive treatment over the course of a couple of weeks. And both my parents are disabled. They can't work, so they don't have any money. So they need to get it from somewhere. So I'm like, well, I'll pay for it because I want to pay for my mum to stay in a facility where she can be treated so she at least has a remote chance of survival. But I'm struggling to afford it because it's really expensive. Like, if you stay in a hotel for a month, it costs thousands of pounds. And, you know, so, like, elephant in the room addressed. It's a sad state of affairs, but I think everything has a time and a place to discuss, and it isn't on YouTube on your birthday. That's why I haven't brought it up. That's why I haven't mentioned the charity live stream. That's why I haven't mentioned donations. And it is why I have been exceedingly quiet. So I do apologise for that, but I just wanted to get it out there and let you guys know. We don't have to discuss it. We don't have to, like, repeat anything I've said. But I just wanted to let that be said while there's enough of you here to understand. And thank you for your patience while I was just ranting away. Anyway, where were we? Gemini, can you do a No, not really. I can't get my voice that high. Alright, happy birthday, I'm a head out. Alright, no problem. Faceless Art and Skills, thank you so much. I'll be sure to drop you a message on Discord. I really appreciate your artwork. I don't know, I'd suck. I do apologise. Yeah, it's true. 6 is right. I don't have enough. I don't have a big enough following to make a bunch of money from streams. Like, it's just a little, like, little by little. But every little helps at this moment in time. But I am sorry that you're getting ads on a live stream. That sucks. I haven't seen an ad in ages because I have YouTube Premium. That I don't pay for, by the way, before you guys start. It's like a package that a friend of mine had a spare place on, and they were like, we can add you to our family. I'm like, yeah, cool. And so I don't get ads on YouTube. So, but I understand because it used to really frustrate me because I sleep listening to podcasts and stuff, and like every 5 minutes I get an advert, and it would just be like, oh, for God's sake, you know, it's easier to just turn it off. Oh, where are we? Oh, chat disconnected. Oh, it disconnected me, did it? I'm sorry. I hope that didn't affect my stream. Where are we? I deleted that comment. Oh. Random theory. Bristella. Sorry, here we go. What's going on with my chat? There you go. Random theory I have. 6 was patient. 6 at the Institute Auto Works. Oh, this ties into my other theories. It's a really interesting possibility. Please do elaborate on that, Bristella, because there are theories that say that 6 might be Cece, or that 6 could be Noon. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you reckon? Alex the Frog. Oh yeah, wait, what did you say first? Scroll up. Little Nightmare's Twitter account said in a reply that Mono started complying with the adults' way of thinking, implying that as he grew up into the Thin Man that he might have started thinking like the residents who are said to act out on basic instincts. Yes, absolutely. I think this could explain why he keeps kidnapping kids. His instinct is to capture 6, but instead he doesn't understand why he's doing it anymore. He's just kidnapping whoever he comes across. Absolutely. Have a theory. What if all the eyes are people who've died because maybe they're in nightmares, can't get up because we're in a lab with Otto? Yeah, it could be. Or people that are in, like, episodes of sleep paralysis or comas, like coma victims and stuff. That's a possibility too. In fact, some of the old artworks, like some of the concept arts that I've seen in the art book for Little Nightmares 2. Oh, damn, we got new members in the building. Sorry, so I will get to those guys. I'm so far behind on the chat, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. I will shout you both out in just a minute. I'm just gonna scroll down. Let me just read through some of these real fast. But yeah, Alex the Frog. Yes, that's absolutely a possibility. Where was I? Oh my God, I got distracted. Shoot. Sorry guys, I am not good at this today. I do apologise. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, don't worry. It's one of those things that the truth is cancer affects 1 in 3 people. And as sad as that sounds, that means that probably over 10 people in this chat right now will either will be affected by cancer in one way or another, whether it be a loved one, a family member, someone you know, everything. That's it. You know, it is what it is, and you just got to deal with it as it comes. And until we find a cure, it's going to be a demon that we all have to face down eventually. It's not just me. I'm not alone. I am not the only person who faces these issues. I'm sure there are several of you that have either been in my position or will be at some point or another. So you don't have to worry. I don't want you to feel sorry for me or feel sympathetic towards me or anything like that. But I just wanted people to know that my mum is a wonderful, wonderful woman. She's very, very caring and kind and pleasant. And if there are any qualities that you like about me, that's where I got them from. And she deserves all the love in the world. So I just wish that I was in a better position to help. How could it be possible for it to be Otto's fault for Cece disappearing? Do you annoy her by coming into a room without knocking or something? I don't know, dude. Like, you know, I know. So I've got a friend who's got 2 kids, a little boy and a little girl, and the little girl pushed the boy down the stairs, breaking his arm and collarbone because he used her socks. Literally, that's the reason. Broke his shoulder. Well, like, broke his arm and his collarbone, so he was all in a cast like that. He's like, oh, she pushed him down the stairs. He's like, why did you do that? And he's like, because he stole my socks, and he was in fact wearing her socks. So yeah, kids can find all sorts of reasons for hating people. Thank you. I appreciate the love for my old lady, for my mama. That's really kind of you guys. Oh, a lot of love. A lot of love. I will relay this to her, by the way, guys. Fulcrum's in the building. Hello there. Happy birthday, Gem. Unfortunately, can't stay long. I've been able to present my theory. I'll have to wait for another time. Oh, thank you so much, Fulcrum. Hey, appreciate you stepping in and stopping by. It's always great to see you. It's a shame that you don't have more time to share your theory with us. Ghoul Games and Abba, Caroline. What an absolute pleasure to have you as members of the Boom Squad. It's so cool to have you here. And thank you so much for supporting me. Everything that you do at the moment, generally speaking, all of the financial support that I get on this channel goes into creating better content for you guys. Like right now, I obviously have to prioritize other things in real life, but it doesn't mean that I'm just like giving up on YouTube. I'm not quitting. I just have to slow down a little bit and pace myself. But yeah, you know, we're still moving forwards. We're still staying positive. We're still going strong. But yeah. Let's go. And yeah, I understand that not everyone is in a position to donate. I absolutely get it. You don't have to justify that. You don't have to apologise for it. You don't have to mention it full stop. That is not what the stream is about. We're not here to discuss it. I just felt like if I was going to say it at all, it would be now. I don't want to make a full video regarding the matter. I just thought that, you know, if people really want to, like, if people really care and they really want to know, then they'll find out here and now because they'll be here on my birthday with me, like you guys all are, which I am exceedingly grateful for. So thank you all so much. And for those of you guys that have just signed up to memberships, welcome to the Boom Squad. There are some perks and stuff that come with that you guys will get to see over on the membership page. Feel free to check those out. Those all still stand, even during trying times and such. And the more members I get, the bigger those things expand to. So like I like to do giveaways. So on my last like major live stream, I did a giveaway. Do you remember the Mono and 6 figurine? It was like $180 or 100 like £200 or something like that. It was like that rare limited edition one that comes out in July. Well, I bought those back then, and I bought one for an audience member as well, one of my viewers. I started like a little giveaway competition, and I will do a lot more of those providing I can afford to do so. And memberships and adverts and things like that, like donations from my viewers and everything, they are what allow me to do giveaways like that. So if you guys want like bigger prizes, more giveaways, more like in-depth interpretations like this, more members only stuff, or like more higher tier content, should I say, then that's where you need to be. Sorry, where are we? Hey, don't worry. No justification necessary, guys. Not at all. You don't have to apologise to me at all. It is what it is. I believe the longer children are in the nowhere... I recognise that small face. Ah, don't worry, it's just Jord. My brother in the building. I will get to that. Jord, I'm not being ignorant, my man. I'm just way behind on the comments. But let me just roll up. Let me just roll up. I was reading Bristella's comment. Yes, I believe the longer the children are in the nowhere, they lose themselves and they receive a new name after crossing over to related. Some trauma. Yeah, absolutely. It's entirely possible that the nowhere, or at least the children's interpretation of the nowhere while they are there, is a manifestation of their greatest fears and of trauma that they've experienced in real life. So like Noon, when she goes there to the nowhere to experience it in full time, what she's probably going to experience, you notice, okay, so in the episode where she goes to the mall, do you notice how when she went, the first thing she did was she goes into the toy shop and she sees toys that she used to have as a kid, or always wanted as a kid and used to play with. And then she goes and she sees the outfits, and some of them were clothes that she wore. It's because this area, or the way she perceives it, only exists in her mind. It's like, well, it doesn't only exist in her mind necessarily, but it's representative of an image that she created in her mind. So it's embodied by her perception of it. The same as the signal tower was full of Six's lifespan, her history, her past, her future, and her present and everything, her fears, the things that she's had to go through and her traumas and everything like that. That's all in the signal tower, because that's the way she is there. And then the same thing happens to Mono. When he becomes alone, it changes. All of the stuff that was there while Six was there. After Six leaves, she takes all of her fear and trauma with her and leaves Mono alone with his. But his is just straight up isolation, so it's empty. It's like a void. Oh, where was I? Yes, hey Gemini, just dropping in to wish you a happy birthday, wishing you all the best. Thank you so much, Jord. I really appreciate that. It's great to see you. It's always a pleasure to see a legend like It's Just Jord in the chat. Guys, for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure you all do, but It's Just Jord is a Little Nightmares theorist. Well, he's a theorist, full stop, but I found him as a Little Nightmares theorist, and he was the man that inspired me to create the content that I create. Like, I would not be doing this stream the way I'm doing right now if it wasn't for this man. And he's just signed up to memberships as well, and that's absolutely golden. What a gem. What an absolute legend you are, Jord. Thank you so much for stopping in, my guy. I really appreciate you, my brother. It's just Jord. Yeah, and then the crowd goes wild. It's just Jord. Don't worry, it's just Jord. It's just Jord. Oh, but how brilliant to see you, mate. Thank you so much. Big GG's in the chat for Just Jord, everyone. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Abba just upgraded as well. Thank you so much, Abba Caroline. I'm like, you know what? I am really excited to tell my mum, because anything that I get from this stream, like that's not the intention of the stream. Please don't feel like that's why I said it. It's only just occurred to me now that it could sound like this. The reason I'm doing this stream now is because I wanted that, and that's not the case. While it is true that any and all donations are going to go towards helping my mum get her treatment, it is actually my birthday for real, and the real reason I'm here is because I'm not doing anything else with my night, and I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do than spend it with you guys in my community. And the fact that you're getting behind me in what is an exceptionally trying time for me and my family really, really means a lot. I try not to get emotional, especially not when I'm live, but this really does mean a lot to me, guys. A lot. This is huge. Thank you all so much. You're very, very kind. You really are. Did George just drop by to say happy birthday? He did. Yeah, George just popped in to say hello, and he said hello to everyone else as well. In the trailer for Law Number 1 said, the electric face your fears. Yeah, well, exactly, yeah, because we believe that the nowhere is based entirely on people's fears. which is really cool. I love that because it means that, that they've got like a limitless supply of what they could provide us with content-wise, because everyone's afraid of something. And it doesn't always correlate like this. Like I've explained in previous streams and theory videos, I was really afraid of school. I didn't like school. I didn't like the teachers. I didn't like the bullies. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the work. That for me, there was a lot of fear about school. So when I entered the school area in Little Nightmares 2, I was absolutely petrified, and it still sits with me to this day. I think it was an excellent area. Other people who don't really associate school with anything particularly frightening might think that the school and the teacher is a bit of a missed concept. They're just like, well, you know, what's the point in this? The teacher isn't scary. You know, and she feels a bit misrepresented in the Pale City. It's like, well, they could have put something actually frightening there. But to a lot of people, she was really scary. But that same person might think, oh, well, I find the lady really terrifying. Like, really, really ethereal and spooky and ghostly and such. Whereas I, personally, am not afraid of anything like that. You know, I embrace the darkness. Like, I sit in the dark quite frequently. And, like, I'm usually like that guy. I can imagine if someone was to see me by myself, I feel like I would be the lady. Just humming to myself in the mirror. Yeah, but it means that in the future, moving forwards, the franchise Little Nightmares, it could take a lot of people's different fears. Like, so you guys, what are you afraid of? Like, if you could pick one, your number one main fear, what would it be? Drop it in the comments, let me know. What is your primary number one phobia? What are you more afraid of than anything else in the world? Drop it in the comments and let's see if we can... And then, when you've got your idea of what you're afraid of, try and think of it as a Little Nightmares concept. Like, imagine it as a monster or an environment or somewhere we might visit in the nowhere. Like, try and think, if the nowhere was to manifest your fear, what would it be? What would it be called? Let's see how creative you guys can be. Your mum's going to buy Little Nightmares 3. Lucky you. Lucky you. Yes, hello everybody. Alex the Frog, yeah, he's in and out. Jordan's a very, very busy man. I am absolutely astonished that he even had the time to pop in and say hello, let alone sign up to a membership, which I am super, super grateful for, by the way. And Jordan, if you're still here, thank you so much. You are an absolute king, my brother. A legend in every sense of the word. But yeah, Jordan is absolutely a very, very busy guy, and he doesn't have a lot of time to sit and listen to me gasbag for a couple of hours. He's probably got 101 working jobs to do right now as we speak, so... please don't be offended if Jord isn't replying. He's a busy guy. Yeah, but everyone says hi, Jord. Bye, Jord. Gem, have you checked out Indie Explorer? Actually, I just came across him recently, but I only watched one video. But yes, he's very, very good. He's an exceptional theorist. Some of his observations are spot on, and his editing is very good too. I think he's an excellent creator. And I think he's a brilliant theorist as well. But I've only seen the one video, so I can't tell you whether or not I agree with his theories because I haven't watched them. But like I say, I said this earlier on for you guys that missed it, I'm thinking about making a video in the future of me shouting out other Little Nightmares theorists and Little Nightmares artists and things like that that I've found over the last month that I'm really interested in, like himself, Indie Explorer, and Planet Jupiter is another one. Bristella is one of them, funnily enough, and she's right here in the chat also. So yeah, there's a bunch of people. A little bit of Nightmare also is in here. I did see your face pop up at one point or another. Alexander Dimitrov, hey, where are you going? Don't drop out on me. Alexander Dimitrov, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That is so kind of you. That's really cool. Thank you so much. And welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't even think I've had a chance to say hello to you, but hi. Hi and thank you. Did Fipsy already drop out? I haven't seen Fipsy. Oh, wait, did I? I think Fipsy might be busy. But I think if he did pop by, he would have been earlier on. Like way, way earlier on, like before the stream started. Oh, speaking of, if you haven't already, please drop a little thumbs up on there for me. Let's see if we can get up to 40 plus likes on this stream, because that would really cheer me up and make me feel better on my birthday. Also, I'm running low on cola. Also, you shouldn't really drink this much cola, but it's because I literally just drink water, coffee, and protein shakes, and green tea. I very, very rarely drink fizzy drinks. I don't drink them in this capacity. You'll see me doing it when I'm live because, number one, it's my birthday. Number two, it's cheat day. And number three, I'm nervous as hell and I need some sugar. So, get off my back. Everybody chill. Be cool, be cool, be cool. So many memberships. I know. It's absolutely astonishing. 5 new members in one stream. The most I've ever had. Which is wonderful. It's so, so kind that you guys are supporting me and my family in this way. And trust me, my mum will know. She will, Mama Gemini will know. She'll find out what you guys did today. Because I am going to show her this chat. And I'm going to let her see the amount of support that she's got. But no, Altac, I haven't seen Fipsy just yet. Had a friend who died from cancer, kind of regret it since I didn't really talk to him that. Yeah, OP Gamer, this is something that's really sad, is that a lot of people, like, they don't realise how much someone means to them until they're gone. And me, unfortunately, coming from the town I come from, people die a lot here. It was quite sad. I actually did a purge on Facebook recently. I know I'm really old. I still use Facebook. I only really use it as an advertising platform for my videos and stuff, just on all the Little Nightmares groups, which you guys should join, by the way, because I've got some good communities out there. Like, some of it's toxic as hell, but I mean, we all are, aren't we? We're the Little Nightmares community. But I was going through my Facebook friends list, and I'm just going through, like, doing a purge, getting rid of people I don't really talk to anymore. And it was kind of sad, because I'm just like, dead, murdered, dead. You know, it was, you know, there was like 6 of them, 3 of which were murdered. And it's just like, well, that really sucks. God, this stream got dark. Stop taking me to dark places. I came here for a positive time, damn it. But yeah, if you really value a person, you will find time for them. I have a sign in my bedroom, just above my dresser, and it says, always find time for people you love. Because you should. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter how busy you are, you can always find time to send a text or make a call or just reach out to someone and just say, hey, you know, how are you doing? Want to grab a bite to eat? Want to grab a coffee? Want to catch up? It doesn't take very much to let you know, and sometimes all it takes is one person. It just takes one person to reach out and just say, hey man, how are you doing? You know, just to know that one person cares is sometimes the difference between life and death. And you honestly, genuinely don't know whether or not it'll be the last time you see someone. So the next time you're with somebody, I don't want this to be like your primary focus all the time, you know, with a like sense of impending doom and existential dread. But the truth is, the next time you have a coffee with someone might be the last time you have coffee with someone. So, you know, if you think, I miss that person, tell them. Reach out and say, hey, just thinking about you. I do it all the time. Usually it's met with like regular responses like gay. I mean, like, I text my friend from the gym a couple of weeks ago because I haven't seen him for about probably 3 months. I said, hey man, you know, how you doing? I was just working out. Well, I wanted to let you know I'm thinking of you. You know, we should work out again sometime. And he just texted me back saying gay. So yeah, I know, but yeah, and he's meeting me next week and we're going to do a chest day and work out together. So yeah, it's nice. God, I am sweating now. It is hot, by the way, guys. Just letting you know, it's 28 degrees in this room right now. It's a Grim Reaper who had spit ether. It's like I'm watching my dad try to use an iPad. You should just give it back. And just scroll down a little. Darkness of fallen boats and all the wheeled alienish creatures like giant squids and anglerfish, who knows what would be. Yeah, I think about the deep ocean very frequently, and my days, it's a scary place. I drinks all the drinks you drinks. Tell Mama Gemini I said hi. I will. Birthday and cheat day is a valid reason. I couldn't agree more. It's also a valid reason to eat cake, which I fully intend to do this evening. My number one fear is probably failure. Failure! Are you Asian, by the way? Well, that was super racist of me to say, but I'm quoting a famous YouTuber called Stephen He, and his entire gag is that he does Asian dad, and that's what he calls it. Stephen, Timmy speaks 4 different languages. The only language you speak is failure. It's absolutely brilliant. A fortune teller, or maybe an inspector that walks around inspecting things. Maybe yeah, that's interesting. Weirdly enough, I'm getting a visit from my landlord tomorrow, and his job is to come around with his clipboard and decide whether or not I get to still live here. Because he might come in and be like, well, you haven't looked after this, that's broken, that's dirty, that needs cleaning, you're ugly, get out. Or he could say, no, I really like you took really good care of the place, here's another 6 months. Kids trying to be adults is the worst thing. If you look at the 80s, everyone loved video games, still play the same flow. Yeah, I agree. 80s kids grew up with a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know, the old, what's considered retro now. But you notice that nobody's too old for retro games, are they? It's probably what my fear of love stems from. Fipsy B2 is in the building. He made it. I'm so sorry for being late, brother. You should be. A very busy week with tests and stuff like that. They're all done. Hey, no, I'm really glad that you're all finished with them. It must be a weight off your shoulders to be able to relax now, Fipsy. It's really good to... Oh, excuse me. It's really good to see you. I'm burping a whole bunch because I've got lots of fizzy pop to drink. Because it's my birthday, so I'm happy. But yeah, it's great to see you, Fipsy. Thanks for stepping in. And yeah, I'm sorry that you've had so much pressure on you at the moment, recently. But hopefully you'll be getting better. I agree with this to some degree. But I also feel like some of us are kind of forced to grow up faster. Yeah, how am I supposed to choose exactly what career I'd like to have at 15? Yeah, exactly. It's difficult, isn't it? Because some people do grow up really fast. I know a friend of mine, and by the time she was like 15, she was already taking care, because her mum had... her mum got into like several relationships, and I'm not here to badmouth anyone or talk about anybody's life or history. I don't know their stories, so I'm not going to comment on it. But the point is that even though she was 15, she had a 2-year-old sister that she had to care for, like, quite frequently. So she had to grow up and mature really, really fast. So she wasn't able to like be a typical 15-year-old. You know, she couldn't play video games and go to the mall and go hang out and go to clubs and party and things like that, because she was too busy looking after her baby sister when her mum couldn't, and trying to like pull her weight and things like that. And therefore she was forced to grow up really quickly, like had a job by the time she was 15 and was paying bills towards a house on top of going to school. So it was really difficult. Some people are in circumstances where they do have to grow up much faster. It's not always ideal. I think that kids should be allowed to be kids. What if the Doctor is Otto? The Doctor could be Otto, Abba. The Doctor could be. In fact, that's actually a thing. And that was one of the first theories. I actually discussed that in one of my theory videos called The Hostile Theories. You might want to check that out, because I have an opinion on who I think Otto could be. Gay! So Fipsy, yeah, everyone say hello to Fipsy. Fipsy's another one of the creators that I wanted to give a little shout out to in that video I've got coming up, where I shout out Little Nightmares creators. Obviously, Just Jord is one of them, but he doesn't need my shout out. Like Just Jord is Just Jord is the man. He's the reason all of us are doing this. Hi, fellow! What's up? How you doing? It's great to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hello, failure management. My son is a failure. A is for apple. B is for failure. Hi from 2009. I'm Pre. I'm from 1969. 1979. If you only knew of the view. Change countries twice. Damn. That must be really hard work. Was there a language barrier, Alex, when you were switching countries? Were you moving to countries that speak the same language as you? Or did you have to learn new languages when you moved? Guys, you guys are growing too fast. Wait up, mates. Birthday's April 69th. Lol. Everyone picks on you for liking things that people your age usually like. Yeah, absolutely. I got picked on for liking Pokemon, because when I was a kid, when I was in school, which I am no longer, but when I was in school, kids picked on me for liking Pokemon. But now, as an adult, as a grown-ass man, I'm like openly encouraged to like Pokemon. In fact, if I liked Pokemon a bit more, I might do videos on that, and it'd probably be even more popular than the Little Nightmares ones. So it's strange how the world works. But I always say that you shouldn't let people influence the things that you like. Like, you should like something because you like it. If you enjoy something, then good. You know, unless there is a good reason for you not to enjoy it. It's like, if you happen to enjoy murder, then maybe rethink your life choices and get some therapy. But if you like Pokemon, or you like Little Nightmares, or you like, I don't know, ballet, I don't care. You know, you're allowed to like what you like. No way, Gemini. I'm in one of your videos. This is a dream come true. Hey, don't think it's a dream just yet, because you don't know what I'm gonna say. I said I'm gonna shout you out, but I didn't say I'd say anything nice. But no, it's all good, Fibsy. It's all good. Don't worry, little one. Do you also like theology? Yes, I do. It would be a twist if Otto was a doctor. The patient behind the curtain is Cece. She's dying in Otto's experiment with the patient. Yeah, you know what? Well, I've been writing this speculative DLC series that I've been working on recently. I've been looking for ways to link the stories to the games that we play in the existing lore, the art book, the Sounds of Nightmares, the podcast and everything like that. And I feel like there's a lot of like what could be considered missing links to be found. And I love doing that, and I really like that you guys are doing it as well. I really like your profile picture, Fipsy. Yeah, man. Fipsy just like the unashamed face. Gemini, can you make us laugh, please? I mean, I could try, but I don't know many jokes. I think I just found Mono's alt account. Gemini, I'm Romanian. I moved to Germany when I was 10 due to financial reasons. I recently moved back in Romania in June last year due to financial... Hey, that's fair enough. So you lived in Romania and Germany. Your English is great, Alex. Like, for somebody that's lived in non-English speaking countries, your English is absolutely excellent. And yeah, financial reasons are usually the reason why people move. In fact, I have a lot of friends from places like Romania and Poland, and usually the reason they move here to the UK is for financial reasons, just because the economy over here is slightly better than it is over there. And I only say slightly because it's crashing. Like in the UK at the moment, the economy's crashing and everything's real on the down low. So wages aren't really going up, but the prices of everything is. So like every couple of months we're seeing price hikes in everywhere, but the wages that employees are paying their workers aren't going up to match it. So we are in economic downturn. We're still better off than some countries like Romania, for instance. I don't know what Germany's like. I've heard they're turning down a little bit as well. But yeah, it makes sense that you would move for financial reasons. It's one of the like top 3 reasons people move, especially so drastically to move country. When's your next stream going to be, Fipsy? Tell us. I'll protect my profile picture at all costs. My school's a better school than most in America, and it still sucks. I think school always sucks, but what you're able to get out of it is what counts. Who picks on you for liking Pokemon? Ooh, I need to put my hands on it. Don't worry about it, OP Gamer. That's fine. These hands are rated E for everyone, and my pronouns are try me. Pokemon's dope. Never watched it or played it, but since what it looks and said, it's great. I'm going to head out for now. It's a really good time discussing Little Nightmares. Happy birthday. Thank you, Bristella. I really appreciate you stopping by. And keep an eye out for my upcoming videos, because you will be making an appearance. If I'm honest, Nightmare, I have no idea when I do streams. I mean, I like to stream for a reason. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Fipsy. Like what Fipsy's saying there is that he very rarely goes live, and when he does, it's usually with a good reason. Like there's something to discuss and talk about. Like today, for me, is a special occasion, which is why I'm up here and I'm live. But sometimes you need a good reason to go live. If you go live just for the sake of going live, then unless you're already a huge YouTuber that people just absolutely go wild off seeing and hearing speak, then you're alright. Like Markiplier could go live right now and get about 40,000 people watching him, and he wouldn't even have to do anything. He wouldn't even need to address the audience or talk. Markiplier could literally go live, sit there, eat a pretzel, and then turn it off, and it would be 100,000 times more successful than this live stream today. But that's the kind of power he commands by being in the game as long as he is, and working as hard as he's worked over the years he's had. So he's a walking example of what is possible on this platform. What if Ghost Kid is the hunter? He could be, because Ghost Kid is missing an arm and the hunter has a stitched like taxidermy arm. So that's a thought. Yeah, and also, you know, the hood and the sack also being representative of what his face could look like. Yeah, absolutely. Hope the world falls apart and the apocalypse starts. I like everyone against everyone. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the meteor. Whenever the world starts to settle, God throws a rock at it. And trust me, he's winding up. Gemini, as you have to say to people who hate you, just shut up and don't get. Yeah, pretty much exactly it. Like, I don't care. Like, that's why I'm out here on YouTube now. There will be people in the world that will be like, when I tell them what I do, they're like, you know, what do you do on YouTube? And I'm like, I make theories about a game called Little Nightmares. And they're like, isn't that for kids? And I'm like, well, not necessarily. It's for everyone. I mean, you could argue that Pokemon's for kids, but I know more adults that play Pokemon than children. I think it's like aimed at everybody. It was created by adults, you know. I don't even argue with it though. I don't say any of these things. I won't even entertain it because it's not worth the argument. I do what I do because I enjoy doing it. If you don't like what I do, just don't watch. I don't care. Yeah, if like the people who like what I do and the people that will converse with me, like you guys are now, there's like better part of 30 of you guys in here that have been in here chilling with me over the last like hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, and you know you guys are the people that it matters to, and the part of the community that I want to converse with. The people that don't enjoy what I do, I don't care. You know, it's not going to hurt my feelings. It's not going to like I'm not going to go to bed tonight thinking, oh, I wish I could turn that random dude I met into a fan. I don't care if he's a fan of mine. He's got his own life to live, as do I. You know, what I'm focusing on is whether or not the people who enjoy what I do continue to enjoy what I do. I want to make sure that you guys still like me during, like, you know, the next time I stream. You know, I want to make sure that you're still subscribed in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, because I'll still be doing what I do, and hopefully you'll still be enjoying it, because I'll still be me. I'll still have this mentality, this attitude, this much passion. The only thing that'll be different is my work will be a lot better. Sound like Mickey Mouse. Next birthday's all the way in November. Hey, my brother was born in November. Yeah, that's good advice actually, Fipsy. Edit, edit, and edit. Yeah, editing is a really powerful tool. You guys that have seen the trailer for this advert that you're actually going to see again in a minute, so I'm going to take a real quick break and I'll show you it. But yeah, that took a lot of editing work, and it's only about probably a minute long. Not even that. Lollipop Kid is the barber. Nosebleed Girl's diary is in the doctor. So what if she experimented and she escapes to become the teacher? Yeah, what if she does? And what if that's why she's so sadistic? What if that's why she likes hurting people so much? Because she's been hurt. Didn't realise it's been an hour and a half. Neither did I. I thought it'd been like an hour. Like on my screen it says it's been 19 minutes and 26 seconds because the screen froze, and I didn't change it just in case, because if I click off this chat the stream will end, so I don't want to do that just yet. I don't even really know how long it's been, but I know it's been the better part of 2 hours. Currently working on a Little Nightmares video. I suck at editing though, and that's all the video is. Hey, Gold, don't worry about it. Just as long as you make sure that whatever you produce is something you can be proud of. As long as you've done the best you can possibly do with what's at your disposal at the moment. That's all anybody can ask for. If you put everything into it, then that's great. And then something else that's important is that you take constructive criticism. In fact, look back on it. Make the video to the best of your ability and release it, and then watch it again in a month or 2 months or 6 months. Watch it again and be like, and then you look back and you might cringe a little bit and be like, oh my god, look how ugly that looks, you know, why didn't I fill in that gap, why didn't I resize that camera angle, why didn't I change the lighting here, why didn't I equalize the volume on my mic, why does it sound so awful? You know, there's a lot of things where you think, oh, I could improve that now, you know, and if you were to make that video now, then it would you know, it would improve. I look at all of my old videos and I hate the way that they used to look, but when I was making them back then, it felt great because I was doing the best I could, but I always made a point of trying to improve. Roger scared me when I was a kid. Roger scared me as a grown-ass man. What would have happened if Spoonie met Mono and Six? Just curious. Watch this space. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely think that Hitler was a sociopath. Hitler's come up in this chat quite a lot. He had extreme outbursts, yet so manipulative, though also sparked fear in others considering being a dictator. Yeah, absolutely. Hitler, for all the awful things he did, was a very, very powerful speaker. Do you have some wild theory about Little Nightmares 3 that you never talk about? I've got a couple, but they're not fully fledged. And the reason I don't share them in streams like this, Alexander, is because when I think of these theories, I like to give substance to them. So I like to have not necessarily proof, but just some evidence to substantiate the things I say. So if I claim that I think the lady is something to do with the monster baby, then I've got to have at least 3 pieces of solid evidence that would concretely support a foundation for that theory. Because someone could say, I think the lady created the monster baby. And someone says, why? And I'm like, I don't know, I just think so. That's not a theory, that's a thought. If you're theorizing, you have to be able to construct a proper, like, the building blocks and construct a proper foundation for your theory, and then say this is why because of exhibit A, B, and C. But yeah, there's a couple that I've got on my mind. Little Nightmares 3 is kind of a tough one to think about because all we've had in the better part of a year is one trailer that's been watched hundreds of thousands of times, probably millions of times, and I've watched it probably 200 times. Looking for little things, frame by frame. I've watched it in slow motion, I've watched it fast, I've watched it backwards, I've watched it in I've changed the contrast, I've watched it in black and white, just looking for little things and signals there. I've even listened to it, I just turned the sound off and listened to it to try and pick up on audio cues to see if there's anything that we're going to get given as a hint that I could be looking out for. But there's nothing particularly concrete, and if I've come across anything, I've already made a video about it. I have 4 theory videos out at the moment that relate to Little Nightmares 3 specifically, and it's kind of hard to make, and until we get some more content, it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to keep moving forward and making more. But either way, we're trying, but there's nothing that I have straight off the bar, Alexander, unfortunately. Go Games. I'm also new to editing, but another thing that I would suggest not to make a video based off other people's editing styles because it takes away from the uniqueness of the content. Yeah, a little bit of Nightmares is right. So it's one thing to be inspired by somebody else, like I'm inspired by Just Jord, and like the concept of doing theory videos came from him. It's not a unique idea to me. I didn't invent Little Nightmares theories. I didn't make up the idea. The theories are all mine. But, you know, and you'll notice that the structure of my videos versus Jord's videos are completely different. They're worlds apart, even though the foundation of our videos, concept-wise, is the same. But if I was to just straight up go in and steal Jord's style, then that could be considered like plagiarism. You know, I'm just essentially looking at Jord's and thinking, oh yeah, you know, this is a good type of video, I'll just make exactly that and just copy and paste it. I could program an AI to do that, but it would be garbage, because it would, like, not to say that Jord's videos are garbage, but because it would be stealing content from somebody that's actually genuinely worked hard on creating something great. So to try and steal it out from under him like that would just be really shady and unoriginal. It already feels bad that I wasn't the first person doing Little Nightmares theory videos, but that's why I make a point of always shouting Jord out. You know, he's in the link. He's in the link. Sorry, there is a link in every description of every Little Nightmares related video I've ever made for Just Jord's channel. And you'll notice that I make a point of mentioning him in every single one and directing people to that link, because while the content is my own and I'm very proud of everything I've made and I've done it all off my own back, it's not without its inspiration, which comes directly from Just Jord. But that doesn't mean that I'm just ripping his content straight up. So if you are inspired by somebody, try and take the concept of what they did, but put your own unique spin on it. Gemini would just need to get in a boxing ring with Roger, and Roger doesn't have a chance, don't you? I don't know, because like Roger's got them really long arms, so I'd have to be really close to him. I think I could probably hurt him if I tried, but I'd have to get close, and I feel like Roger could kill me from about 8 miles away. Like, you'd just be like, ha, Daddy's gonna choke you out. He'd just wring my neck. But I appreciate the confidence, so cool, yeah. Is Gemini and Geminem the same guy? Yeah, no, Geminem can rap. And you might say that part of me was hoping to be caught up in the moment and be open to the good of the god of me, but I got at the bottom of me, and I get to that ought to become a bit of an oddity, but somebody gets offended by the thought of me, so... Geminem can rap, but I can't, I just talk fast. I've learned to talk fast by trying to read all these comments. Fipsy B2 kidnapped Fipsy B1 confirmed. Went through a period of depression. Oh, I'm sorry about that, 6. I know how that feels. That sucks. Almost cool. Keep guessing and see what happens. Going home, gotta go. Happy birthday, wishing you the best. Thank you so much, Art. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kenshi dude! What's up? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hope you're alright. My fella, what's your favourite anime? Mine's The Howling Castle and even Doraemon. Yeah, both fine choices there. Mine are so predictable, it's unreal. But my favourite animes of all time are Dragon Ball Z, and well, obviously the whole Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and One Punch Man. I love One Punch Man. It's amazing. I absolutely love One Punch Man. We can all agree that it's better that 3 is delayed in 2025 due to better than to get an unfinished game in 2024, especially when the game has such a delicate and convoluted story. I could not agree more, Alexander. It is very disappointing that the game has been delayed, but it's not entirely negative, because it shows that they care more about giving the audience a good, complete, finished, polished product rather than just churning out some half-finished garbage for the sake of meeting a time frame and getting paid. Because I feel like people, if it's late, if the game is great, then people will forget that it was late. You know, nobody will care that it was delayed. But if the game is garbage, no one will ever forget that it's garbage. Like, everyone will always remember Little Nightmares 3 as the bad one in the franchise. But people can forgive a delay. It doesn't matter. Little Nightmares 2 was delayed. I think Little Nightmares 1 was delayed as well, but does anyone talk about that? No, because nobody gives a... No, like, nobody cares, because the games were so good that it doesn't matter. It's overshadowed by the fact that the games were magnificent, but they were magnificent because the team put enough passion into it. You know, they actually paid attention to their audience, and they thought things through, and they took the time they needed to create a polished, finished product. And what we got was arguably the best games in the world. Gemini will rap Roger out of rigs. Gem spitting bars. Gemini in the house. Gemini can't rap, but Gemini can. I'm going through depression. I see. Right, fair enough then. Yeah, I got it. 6. I got it. Don't worry. And that's good. I'm glad that you've never been through depression, because depression sucks. I have, and I know a lot of people that have, and I know it's a very common term these days, but it's a very, very deep, dark hole to clamber out of, and anyone that's suffering that, again, and I say this a lot, sorry if it sounds a bit repetitive, but reach out. You're not alone. There are people. Look at this community. Look at the amount of people that are in here, and we've all got each other's back. But yeah, I got it. Gemini is better at Eminem at rap. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Eminem is the GOAT. And anybody, you could put anyone in a room with Eminem and he will eat them alive. It's you don't want to start beef with Eminem. It doesn't matter how good you are, he will kill you. I was talking about a character. Never. That's fine. Better be more than 8 chapters, not including the DLC. In Little Goof Mares 3. Altac just going in on Little Nightmares now. I see what you're talking about, and I'm not sure if it holds up much. He did have a long period of depression, but the only outburst once started due to Kel mentioning Mari. I think I missed the beginning of that conversation, sorry guys. 6, it's alright, I get it. I get that you were talking about a character. Don't worry, I am reading these, I promise you. I'm just really slow, I'm sorry. But I haven't missed it, I promise. I think Little Nightmares 3 will be out early 2025. I hope it's early. Whatever the case, I hope it's early. But yeah, even if it's not, even if it's June 2025, then so be it. Maybe I'll get it for my birthday, who knows? Wait, no. Never gonna let you down. I think Little Nightmares... Do you think Little Nightmares 4 is in the future? Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's not Little Nightmares 4 strictly, I think we are going to get some kind of spin-off. It seems to be after 4, they start naming things, don't they? There was God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, and then there was God of War... just God of War. It was just called God of War. Then God of War Ragnarok, God of War Ascension. They stop using numbers after a while, don't they? So I think if we do get a Little Nightmares 4, they might not necessarily call it 4. Gemini will rip Eminem to shred. No, he won't. Gemini, what's your favourite movie? That's a really tough question, Fipsy. That's really difficult. Oh gosh, that's super tough. Roger is behind you. Fight then, let's go. Shall I mess him up? No, where were we? Gemini. Sorry, Eminem is a skinnier version of Gemini. What are you trying to say? You calling me fat? Sorry, Fipsy. My favourite movie, I'm not sure. It's really difficult to say. There's a lot of movies that I like. I like Mortal Kombat. I like Resident Evil. They're all usually gaming related movies. I honestly don't know. I'd have to think about it long and hard because it's a really tough question. There's a lot of movies I like, but I've got to be in the mood for certain movies. So I want to say that my favourite movie is Mortal Kombat. But right now, if you said, do you want to sit and watch Mortal Kombat? I'd be like, nah. If I had to pick one that I'm always in the mood for, pretty much always in the mood for, it would be Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I think it's absolutely excellent. And I know that's such a traditional, English guy thing to say. But Harry Potter is a wonderful movie. I think it's exceptionally well done. I think the acting here, everything about it, the visual effects, the storyline, the books are fantastic. I just really like Harry Potter, so I feel like if I was to pick any movie that was going to be my favourite, it'd probably be that. Don't get me wrong, there's some days where it's like, would I rather be watching Harry Potter or playing Little Nightmares? Then I'd rather be playing Little Nightmares, probably. But it depends if I'm tired. If I'm tired, I don't want to sit and concentrate on the game. I want to go lay down and watch a film. So yeah, probably that. Probably that. Where are we? Ladies song home versus Gemini rapping some bars. I'm beginning to feel like a rap god. All my people front of them to the back nod. I'm not surprised Little Nightmares 3 delays. Oh, no, I'm not surprised. I've been waiting for Half-Life 3 since 2016. Yeah, and the next one, a Hollow Knight. Do you skip leg day, Gemini? I have skipped leg day, but I don't normally. I'd be lying if I said I haven't, but I've skipped every day. I've skipped chest, I've skipped arms. I skipped shoulders this week because I hurt my arm. Like my right arm is a bit jacked up from training about a month ago, and I had to lay off my shoulder. But I don't normally. My legs are just as jacked as the rest of me, but it's not something that I actively try to miss. I try and do. It's not like if I stand up, my legs will be really skinny. The reason I'm not standing up is because I'm sweating a whole lot. I don't want to burn any more extra energy. I'm already dying in here. Gemini is slimmer, shady. Only losers skip leg day. Have you all forgotten that Roger is blind? Gemini, Tyson, solo. Yeah, I would solo Roger because he's blind. Yeah, now I can't even feel good about the win. Even if I was to fight Roger and knock him out, and all I've managed to achieve is great. You knocked out the blind guy. Good job, Gemini. Big man. Oh, good for me. Casual hardcore gamers, I don't see no feast. No, you don't, because I've already eaten it. You're late to the game. The feast started 2 hours ago, and now I'm full, and that's why I'm fat, and I'm not slimmer shady. My God. Prisoner of Azkaban is it? Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban was the first one I ever watched. Actually, it was great. Why did they delete it? Help. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think I want to know. One time I tried making a Little Nightmares fan game called Big Dreams. It was a horrible fan game. I'm a bad game developer. Hey, Electro Man, I don't think there's such a thing as a bad game developer. I think you're just a game developer. Whether or not you're good at it depends on how much you've progressed. If you think you're a bad game developer, then keep practicing. Keep trying, learn different techniques, learn how to use different things, learn how to utilize Blender more efficiently, take a course, study for it. If it's something that you really love, really passionate about, and you really want to do, then how good or bad you are at something is all determined by how much effort you're prepared to put in. If you think you're a bad game developer, decide whether or not is that what you want to be. If you want to be a bad game developer, then you will be. But if you want to be a good game developer, then put in more effort, because you will get there. I honestly believe that if you want something badly enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. You'll do it if it kills you. So I don't think you're a bad game developer. I think you're a game developer and you've practiced. You might not have got the best result the first time, but who does? You think my first video was the best thing I've ever made? No. It's embarrassing to watch for me now. But I'm really happy that I did it, and I'm really proud that I did it. But if I made that one video and said, I suck at making videos, and I never did it again, I wouldn't be sitting here with an audience of 30 people having a conversation that lasts 2 hours. Don't quit if it's something you really enjoy. I just watched a Harry Potter series for the first time, and it was amazing. The conclusion was the best I've seen. Yeah, I love it. If there was Little Nightmares movie, would you watch it? Absolutely, Kenshi. I absolutely would, yes. 150%. It's just how many times I noticed. Little Nightmares, Very Little Nightmares, Little Nightmares 2, and Little Nightmares Attack of the Gnomes. Yeah, imagine if they were the main baddie. Imagine if that's why the Nowhere turned on the gnomes, and that's why they're so poorly treated. That's why the monsters chase them, because the gnomes, once they gather en masse, when there's too many of them, they're like rodents, or like there's an infestation, and they come in just a big tidal wave of gnomes and they ruin everything. How could you, Gemini? Not leg day. Gemini, I'm going crazy because you keep trying to have you rap. Do you skip leg day, Fipsy? Of course not. No, Fipsy doesn't skip leg day. Japanese uniforms more similar. Yeah. I can tell you now he doesn't skip leg day. No. Our boy don't know. And casual hardcore gamers can speak to that from actual fact because he was with me. You guys have met this man, or at least some of you have. Anyone that watched my last live stream, RJ from over at Casual Hardcore Gamers, link is in the description below. He was in a live stream with me playing Cuphead, which he soloed, by the way. He didn't need me to do it, but yeah, he actually came to the gym and worked out with me. Shady. Are you worried about if the new studio will be able to make and present the game we love and know, especially with little information we get about 3? Yes, I do believe that Supermassive are going to do well with it because even though they are like new developers for this franchise, I don't feel like they've gone into this IP completely unaided. Like, there are still members of the team from Tarsier working with them. They are still working with the team at Bandai Namco, and they have the lore bible. Like, the every game has a lore bible that they kind of have to abide by and they can't really divert from. And it's something that the developers, no doubt, in a series like Little Nightmares, will have been very stringent on. Like, you have to follow this aesthetic, you have to follow these rules. You know, there's this stuff that you can change, there's this stuff that you can't change. And I feel like that they are doing exceedingly well with it so far. Bear in mind that everything that we've seen up until this point is pre-alpha. And I think pretty much everyone in here would agree with me that it looks absolutely phenomenal. While I maintain that Supermassive Games haven't made the best games in the past as far as my personal preference goes, the only thing I didn't like about them was the characters' dialogue. I did not like the dialogue in those games, in the Dark Anthology series. I wasn't keen on it. And that's the only ones that Supermassive have ever made that I have actually seen and bear witness to. So that's my only exception to go by, my only source of evidence. But Little Nightmares doesn't have dialogue. So as long as they're able to storytell through the narrative and through the actions, which they do very well, and as long as they're able to match the actual design of Little Nightmares, which they have done very, very well, then I can't see it being a problem. I have full confidence in them. Of course, I'm worried that the game will be a disappointment, but not because it's Supermassive or a new studio. I would be nervous if Tarsier themselves were making Little Nightmares 3, because there's always that dread that comes with a new game, that it's going to ruin it. You know, when like you play a game, like you play God of War 1, you play God of War 2, and then God of War 3 comes out, but before it does, you're like, oh my god, I hope it's as good as the others, I hope it's as good, what if it's garbage, what if it's rubbish, you know, what if it's not up to par? And there's some people that will just come in and crap all over it, without even giving it a chance, because it's not like the original. But the truth is, some people like it, some people hate it, and some people are completely indifferent, they're just happy to be playing the game. I, for one, am in that middle bracket where I'm just like, I'm just happy we're getting something. I'm not too bothered if it's a masterpiece or not, as long as we get something. But I do appreciate the amount of effort they're putting in. Gemini, what editing software do you use? Well, I record with OBS, and my editing software is Movavi Movie Editor Premium. Gemini, you should watch Matilda. I did watch Matilda, yes, and I totally see that, because the teacher is very much like Mrs. Trunchbull, isn't she? Yeah, absolutely. One Thanksgiving meal makes me weigh 5 pounds more. Yeah, no doubt, but a lot of that will be water weight, don't worry, you can walk that off. Gemini, how long can you hold your breath? Not as long as you might think. I think the longest I've ever done is just over 2 minutes. And that was when I was training for the Navy. Well, not for the Navy, I was training with the Navy. It was like a Navy SEALs training program. It was just a charity event. I wasn't like joining the Navy or any military service or anything like that. It was just a thing where they challenged average Joes to do like a really exceptionally hard Navy SEALs training program. It's like the Navy SEALs Hell Week is one of the hardest training programs to have ever existed, and they challenged like 100 average people to try and do it for charity. And I signed up and I give it a try, and I did all right. You know, I did better than most of the people who went, but I was already physically fit, and I have like a cast iron mentality when it comes to that sort of thing. So I was like, unless they kill me, I'm going to get through it. But they're going to have to physically like drown me in order to make me fail this test. So like I basically got by through grit, determination, not because I was the biggest, the strongest, the toughest or anything. I just had a better mentality than most of the people that went in. Not the SEALs. Not the Navy SEALs and the proper military personnel that were there. They would kill me every day of the year, 100 ways from Sunday. But compared to the other 100 average Joes that went in there with me, yeah, most of them couldn't keep up because they just didn't have it. But the SEALs, they do. They've got something else about them, and that's why they're Navy SEALs. Alex the Frog's got to go. That's all right. Thank you so much for stopping in, Alex. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, theories, speculations, observations, and all the rest of it. And I really appreciate your kind words and support. It's been great to see you. Mummy told me to kick the balls if I ever get into a fight. It works. Yeah, absolutely. I don't care how big you are. If you get kicked in the nuts, you go down. I tell you the main thing, especially if you're a girl, and this is something because when I was teaching martial arts before, when I was teaching to women, I would say that because there are like biological differences between men and women. That's why in combat sports they've got weight classes and gender divisions and things like that. And without getting too like topical or controversial or anything like that, I will say that if anyone is in a fight situation where you are clearly the underdog, you're being overpowered, you can't fight back, you're punching them in the face and you're just hurting your hand, you're not getting anywhere, either kick them in the balls or jab him in the eye. Because I'm telling you, the guy could be built like a go. Unless he's on a whole other level of drugs, he will let go. Eyes. Weak point on every living organism with eyes. Trust me. Even a shark. It's advised that if a great white shark grabs you in its mouth, you thumb it in the eyes. That's the actual advice that you're given. Eyeballs. Weak point. I'm not saying every time you get into a fight in the schoolyard, jab someone in the eye, but I'm talking if it's life or death and you're genuinely threatened, like if you're in danger and you need to get away from that person, a swift jab in the eye, bah! Quick eye poke, that will change the tide of battle, I tell you. You don't know embarrassing, Gemini. No, with your squeaky voice. I've heard it, Fipsy. I'm familiar with your old videos, I've watched them. Gemini, English or Spanish? I am English. I actually speak very, very little Spanish. The only Spanish I know is from Resident Evil 4, in fact. Yeah, sorry guys, I only speak English. A little bit of Japanese. Jet Spaghetti's in the building! Everyone bow! Hello, Jet! It's wonderful to see you. How you doing? I hope you're doing alright. It's really good to see you. I'm so happy you can make it for my birthday. Hi. Not that I'm doing anything special. I'm just here and I'm live and it's always lovely to see you. So thank you so much for stopping in. I'm sorry it took me so long. You probably said happy birthday like an hour ago, but I'm so slow and behind on the chat that you're like, is he ignoring me? I'm not, I promise. It's just there's a lot going on and I'm trying not to ignore anyone. And in doing so, I'm effectively ignoring everyone. Do you still have the plushies? I've got plushies. Going to take my time with Little Nightmare Streak because I really don't want to rush through. Yeah, me neither. My first playthrough is going to be a slow, arduous journey. I'm just going to enjoy it. Need to go. See you, lad. See you later, Erin. Thanks so much for stopping in. Really appreciate it. 6 is gay. No wonder you dropped mono. Nuh-uh. Just a sociopath. English or Spanish? I'm English. Only English. I've got a little bit, like, I speak a couple of words from, like, 8 different languages, but I mean a couple of words for a bunch of them. Just because when I meet someone from a country I'm not familiar with, I will try and learn a little bit of their dialect, just because it's fun. It's interesting to see how people pronounce things. Like, I have a lot of friends from Poland. Like, when I was kickboxing, when I used to train to fight, when I was actually fighting in the cage, and I would, like, get into real competition, the guys I trained with were from the Polish military, so naturally they all spoke Polish. So when I was training with them, there was me and 5 Polish guys. So it made sense that I would learn to speak a little bit of Polish so that I could understand what was being said. So if they're saying, you know, you have to grab here, pull down, punch there, twist here, you know, it wouldn't make sense if I couldn't understand them. And it wasn't fair for me, well, I didn't think it was fair for me to ask all of them to speak English, because they could, but I didn't want them to all speak English just because I'd showed up. You know, like, I thought, right, you guys speak Polish and I'll just try and pick it up as I go. You know, if I don't understand, I'll ask you. But, you know, and I endeavour to learn a little bit. So I've got a little bit of Polish behind me, but that's because I work and train with a lot of Polish folks. When are we going to get cake reveal? Oh, I don't think I'm going to do cake reveal. Not this time anyway. I mean, I have it downstairs in the fridge, but I don't think I'm going to eat cake on stream. I don't like eating in front of people. It makes me nervous. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'll end up with chocolate all around my mouth and everything. Really do hope it's good. Yeah, so do I, Parasara. I really do. I feel like multiplayer approach could get rid of some of the unsettling. Yeah, I do as well. I love that it's an option, but it's exactly that. It's an option. You don't have to play multiplayer. If you feel like that playing multiplayer will take away from the immersion that Little Nightmares is built on, then just don't play multiplayer. Use the AI. That's all I'm going to do on my first playthrough. My first playthrough, I'm going to play it as a single player with an AI companion, just like Mono was with 6. See you later, Abba. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. I hope you're still here to hear me say goodbye. But thank you for your support and your kind words earlier. I really appreciate you. And welcome to the Boom Squad also. I'm convinced getting kicked in the balls is worse than pregnancy. I mean, that's a little bit hard to argue. Because, like, I've been kicked in the balls. Alright, this is my argument for that. And I don't necessarily agree with it. So... like, there's people who would argue with me, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but women get pregnant, have babies, and then they say, oh my god, I can't wait to have another one. How many times have you heard a guy say, oh, I can't wait to get kicked in the balls again? You know? Like, so, having a baby is like, oh, it's that painful, but, you know, you do it again, right? But would I get kicked in the balls again? Not if I can help it. Hello, Jem is so behind on the chat. Yeah, I know, I'm miles away. Absolutely miles away. At least Jem knows he's behind on the chat. Yeah, you're reading it. I know you're reading everything. Hi, everyone. Yeah, right, let's scroll down. Let me just try and jump ahead a little bit. Gemini, if someone asks you that, your answer, say whoever moves first is gay. Okay, fair enough. Still think the hardest and scariest level in the entire series is the hospital. Hospital was really frightening, yeah. The mannequins were particularly threatening. Remember your 3 C's when fighting the Demogorgon. Cranium, centre mass, or crotch. Then am I the only one who thought he meant a different cake? Oh, right, like, yeah, you probably were. Do you still get scolded by your mum when you do eat lollies before dinner? No, actually. My mum is what you might call a feeder. So whenever I go over to my mum's house, she's always like, oh my god, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want cake? Do you want sweets? Do you want crisps? Do you want chocolate? You know, she will feed you until you are fat. You're such an underrated YouTuber. Greetings from Bulgaria. Thank you so much, Alexander. And hello to Bulgaria. I wish I could speak some Bulgarian now, just so that I could say hello to you. But yeah, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. And welcome to the Boom Squad as well. I really appreciate you signing up for memberships. I'm hoping that you can benefit from that in the long term. I love eating cake. You're not alone, Nightmare. You are not alone. What kind? Gemini, have you already figured out a way to eat that hat? I haven't even bothered researching it, Altac, because I am not going to be eating a hat because I'm not wrong. Don't get me wrong. If I am incorrect about the ending of Little Nightmares 3, if it is a happy ending, and everyone lives happily ever after, then I will consume the hat. But it's not going to happen. So you don't have to worry. I don't have to worry. The only person who has to worry is Fipsy. Because if he's wrong about the ending, he's going to be the one suffering. Because I'm going to issue him a challenge of his own. For real, for real. Eat whatever I want. Yeah. Gemini, do you live with your mum and dad? No, I don't. I live all by myself. I'm a big boy. Do you know the movie Spirited Away? Yes, I do, I follow, and I absolutely love the movie Spirited Away. In fact, in one of my first ever Little Nightmares theory videos, before I was naming them necessarily, I think it's just called She's Back, ? Little Nightmares 3 theory, that I made like probably 8 months ago or something. I drew comparisons and random parallels, so I put like a bunch of references from Spirited Away against the corresponding references in Little Nightmares and overlaid them on top of one another, so you can see like where Tazier obviously drew the inspiration from with regard to Spirited Away versus Little Nightmares. It's an excellent movie. It's really, really good. And I love that like manga, like Japanese anime style drawing that they did. Yeah, I don't think they've confirmed any inspiration from anywhere, but they will have no doubt taken a lot of inspiration from other places, like Alice in Wonderland, Matilda, the City of Lost Children, and of course Spirited Away. They've taken inspiration from a lot of places. But again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on about what was I saying? About using the same kind of foundation as Just Jawed for my theory videos, but then my actual layout and delivery are completely different. It's the same with Little Nightmares. They can take all the inspiration they want from Spirited Away, but Little Nightmares is not Spirited Away. They take inspiration from Matilda, but Little Nightmares is not Matilda. Just taking inspiration from something is absolutely fine, as long as there's no plagiarism involved. Gemini, what do you do if someone is threatening you and they have glasses on? I suppose that would be a case for persuasion and reason. Here's persuasion and here's reason. The train scene, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. Little Nightmares doesn't have happy endings. Exactly. Well said, Ghoul Games. Well said. Love to eat hat and eat lollipops. I think the characters were just taken from folklore. Yeah. Or at least inspired by it. Parasaurus says, I didn't know you could do that. Probably still going to play it with someone, that being my siblings, since we've experienced the previous games together. Very special game series. Oh, that's really nice that you can play it with your sibling. That's really cool. I would actually love to play Little Nightmares 3 with my brother. Because I do have a brother, like an actual biological brother. I just don't see him very much. Cause he's a grown man and he's got children of his own, so he's very busy and he works a lot as well. So we very rarely get to play video games. And he's not really into Little Nightmares. I don't even think he knows what it is. He doesn't watch my videos and things like that, so he's not overly familiar with what I do. But I love playing video games with him, and if I ever get a chance to do it in the future, I will. So it's really nice that you should, like, absolutely, if you've got a chance to be playing video games with your sibling, do it. Like, do it as much as you get a chance to. Gemini, can you hold your breath? Well, I mean, right now. And I can. And the longest I've ever done it for is probably 2 minutes, but or just over 2 minutes, but it was really hard. Gemini, are you aware of the AU seat? I don't think I am, no. AU seat is in Australian seat. What's that? What is that, iFallow? Please explain. Oh my god, City of Lost Children looks so scary. Thanks, it's almost bedtime too. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna give you nightmares now, mate. Nope. Yeah. Just love watching those. I didn't watch it for the ship though, just love the idea of the school life. Yeah. You're the dude in Discord who loves to send monkey gifts. Hey Glunk, what's up? Glunk Inc is in the building, how you doing? Great to see ya. Really glad you can make it. How's it going? I'm sure I've been reading your I'm sure I've been seeing your name in this chat and just not reading the messages. I think it's skipping over them, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry if I've been missing you, Glunk. I saw that 6. You can't hide from me. Yeah, it's like like I've got the all-seeing eye, but Gemini, like, okay, so if you guys have ever read my description, if you guys have ever read the description, then you will notice that there is our in-house monster known as the Moderator. Well, that's RJ from over at Casual Hardcore Gamers, the guy with the blue name and the wrench. The guy with Alone's weapon next to his name. Yeah, you won't escape his gaze, trust me. If you said it, he saw it. Gemini, what is your favourite series? Tough to say. Like, do you mean like video game series, Fipsy, or movie series? Oh, well, not movie series. You know what I mean. Do you mean games or other media? Let's see, it's in where Little Nightmares kids go to school. In YouTube, about 15 episodes. It's great. Storytelling is amazing. Give it a try. Yeah, I absolutely will. I'll be sure to look that up, fellow. Absolutely. Help! No. Why isn't it deleting? Uh-oh. Gemini, no. Gemini, what do you do if a teacher's trying to beat you up? It depends. Can you take them? Because if you can take them in a fight, then absolutely do. But also, if the option to get out of there is available, then yeah, get out of there. Not the only person in the chat. I don't expect all my messages to be read. Don't worry. Thank you, Glunk. It's really nice to have somebody understanding. Gemini, what are your thoughts on Coraline? Yes, now, Glunk, I really liked Coraline. I thought it was interesting. Now, I watched Coraline years and years ago before I'd ever even heard of Little Nightmares, so I didn't correlate the two. I should really watch Coraline again, and then see if I can pull any kind of parallels between the two of them, because I'm sure there will be some, but I am not entirely sure if there are any. But I think it's brilliant. I really liked it when I first watched it. Like, the other mother is just a really petrifying concept, and the fact that she can go into like another reality where they've got buttons for eyes and stuff, it's really spooky, and I like that. I love the creep factor. So a couple of your messages got deleted, don't worry. Yeah, some of them do, it just takes a while. Don't worry. I was initially going for the movie series, but gaming series is fine too. So as far as movie series go, it's probably the Harry Potter franchise, because I love the Harry Potters, and after thinking about it a little bit earlier on, they are ones that I can watch consistently without getting bored. Like, I don't really get fed up with the Harry Potter series of movies and games. Obviously Little Nightmares, but probably also Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. It's so good. And as far as series go, I think it's got like the best storytelling, the best lore, the best monsters, the best graphics, the best gameplay. I absolutely love Resident Evil. One of my favourites ever. As far as series go, at least. Have you watched a French movie called The Duelist or Macbeth? There was a stage audition last week. It was based off the movie. I read Macbeth, but I never watched the movie. But I read it way back when, quite a long time ago. And yeah, very good. It's a work of art. Gemini, imagine the monster baby could deploy mini monster babies to chase Lone alone. Why is that such a funny thing to think about? Just imagine just that's like the I imagine it kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, and then there's all the little tiny ones just running out after you, just spawning mini-me's. I eat people's hats. Only people with red hair and blue eyes. Oh, so you'd eat my hat. Well, I'll tell you what, then that can be the deal, Six. If I end up eating a hat, then I'll just give it to you. You can consume it for me. Gemini isn't lying, people. This nerd has an entire wizard's chess set in his home. I do! I literally do. He saw it. Because RJ, for those of you guys that weren't here in my last stream, he came here. He flew all the way across from the United States to see me here in my hellhole of a town. And he was subjected to the atrocities that exist where I live. So we spent most of the time hiding inside behind bulletproof glass and playing video games and watching junk on TV. Resident Evil 7 is best with the spider lady. Yeah, that's right, Resident Evil 7. And her name is Marguerite, and she was my favourite enemy in that game too. Excellent. Yeah, I do have a wizard's chess set. I've got a lot of Harry Potter collectibles in my house, actually. Whole bunch of them. Wonder if there's any in here. It's strange, actually. I haven't got any of them in this room, but they're all mostly downstairs on my bookshelf, because I've got all of the Harry Potter books on my bookshelf, and then like the bookshelf is decorated with all of my collectible Harry Potter items that surround them. Totally being for real. If you eat the hat, you just be sat in front of a camera, cut the hat into tiny pieces, and wash it down with a drink. Yeah, or I could burn it to cinders. I could literally like burn it, turn it to dust, tip it into a glass, and then drink it. I suppose that would be one other way of doing it. Oh. Alright guys, I'm just going to go for a quick break. I will be right back. I think I'm going to call the stream pretty soon, but I'm going to leave for a minute and just go top up my beverage and grab a towel because I keep sweating loads. I'm sorry about that. I probably look awful right now. But it's really hot. We're currently experiencing a heat wave here in the UK, and I'm sitting in my office, which is a notoriously hot room because it's got like screens and lights and the computer and everything all going all at the same time. And I can't open the window because it'll interfere with my microphone, and I don't want that. You guys don't want to hear all of the drunks and smackheads arguing outside my window, so especially not on a Sunday night. So please bear with me for a short period. I'm just going to go top this up. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and we're going to stick around. I'll be answering the rest of your questions and comments over the next 20 minutes or so. But until then, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I'm back. Right, okay, now I've probably missed a whole bunch of the chat. Those of you guys that haven't already, would you mind just smashing that thumbs up button for me and dropping a couple of likes on there, because it would really make me feel better. And it would validate me to the YouTube algorithm as well, which is always really, really pleasant. Gemini is the Eminem and Ed hybrid. Okay, let's see. I definitely think the counties are set in an alternate history of England or Europe. Yeah, absolutely, Plasmatic. I couldn't agree more. I think so. Let's see. Theory of mine. The monster baby will have bugs and stuff that crawl out of her and the bugs will chase. Oh, yeah, that could be a thing, because she is kind of like rotten and mouldy, and she's sure as heck big enough to have stuff living inside her. Kind of like the stone giant from the Sounds of Nightmares. Episode 1. Gemini, I think your wholesome hunter theory is wrong. Impossible. I'm never wrong. No, absolutely. There is one scenario where the hunter can kill 6. It's when the hunter bursts open the door and he smashes both Mono and 6. Incredible! I didn't know that. In all the times I've played it, I've never ever seen him kill 6. So as soon as he bursts through the door, so as Mono and 6, if you push out of the... So you push out, you sneak past behind him when he's skinning his sleeves. You leave, but you stay still and let him shoot you. Will he kill you both with the gun, or does he hit you with the door? And does 6 actually have a death animation there? That's really cool, Nightmare. I'm really glad you said that, because I've never ever seen it. I'm sure it's a thing, and I 100% believe you, but I've never seen it. But that does actually debunk the wholesome hunter theory, because most of that was built around the fact that I'd never seen him kill 6, nor could I get him to kill 6 when I tried. So I'm like, well, maybe he's not trying to kill 6. So yeah, that's very, very valid and an absolutely exceptional and astute observation. Well done. Well done indeed. I'm not sure if I should be ashamed of this, but I've never watched a Harry Potter movie or book in my... No, that's absolutely fine. Each to their own. I don't think anyone should be ashamed of anything like that. Except for you, Fipsy. Like, you... Sorry, me and Fipsy, we've got beef now. E-bikes are goated for real. You still killed him. Nothing's deleting. 6. 6, if you're worried about your messages not deleting, just don't send them, bro. It's all good. you don't have to. All good. It's all good. And worse, I've never watched a Marvel, DC, Star Wars. You know, some people don't. This is the thing. I tell you something about me as well, is some people will say to me, oh my god, you have to watch this. And that usually for me is an indicator that I'm not going to watch it. Because if something is super mainstream, chances are I'm not going to be really enthusiastic about watching it. I never watched Game of Thrones. I've never watched John Wick. I've never watched James Bond. You know, all of these things. I've never watched 50 Shades of Grey. You know, all these things that become like super hype trains where millions of people get behind it. And like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, is it though? Because I don't really know. I'm not really sure or certain, but yeah, I'm never truly inspired when people tell me to watch something. I like to find things on my own. Gloom, how could you? He's away to get his lollipop. Alright, cool games. I thought you were on my side. Would be creepy though. I think you're right. Maybe she'll open her mouth in the budget. But yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? If she just like sticks her head into a building and just spews and a bunch of insects come out and you've got to run for it. Oh my god, I forgot it's Gemini's birthday. Happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday, mate. Thank you so much, fellow. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I keep forgetting it's my birthday as well, don't worry. It's just all random. Gemini, I love your haircut. Oh my, like it's awkward. It feels really strange because I've been super busy over the last month and I didn't bother to get a shave or a haircut. So up until like 2 days ago, I had like a big bushy beard and like floofy afro-y hair. And it was just heavy and awkward and I looked like a homeless guy. But I thought, well, there's no point in me going out and getting a shave and a haircut and stuff, only to come back. Ooh, there's an insect on my desk. What are you doing, insect? Well, you can stay there, but don't get squashed. What was I saying? Yeah, so I've only just got it done and I wasn't sure about it, but yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. It doesn't feel right because they did it shorter on top than I normally like to have it. I like to have like a couple of spikes on top. Not that my hair really spikes because it's curly, but thank you either way. Yes, Gemini and I have a lot of beef. Get me in a cage with him, his career is over. Well, steady now, Fipsy, steady. Like YouTube beef. Like I don't want no problems, fam. Like, I don't want to get my jaw broken out here. By the way, about the poll, 6 and anyone never gonna work. She will betray them. Oh yeah, I forgot about the poll. Yeah, I tell you what. Anyone that hasn't voted on the poll, vote now. I'm gonna count to 10, and then I'm gonna end it, and then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. 50 is going to do the Gemini the same thing he did. You uncultured swine! Not watching 50 Shades of Grey as a Oh no, I'm English, I'm uncultured. What the frig, you behaving like me in my group chat? He would fry you with the bars, he would spit. Let me delete normal messages, but not the sus ones. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's end that poll. Alright, so I posited at the beginning of this stream who would make the best team out of the characters that we have not known yet to team up. Out of Mono and Law, 39%, Mono and Alone, 35%, 6 and Alone, 15%, and then Law and 6 coming in last at 8%. Now, Mono and Law, I feel like the logic behind that, because that's my choice as well. I didn't vote on it. Well, I'm not allowed to vote on my own polls, but I think Mono and Law, because they are both exceedingly resourceful, and Mono himself, I just feel like Mono could essentially be the Alone to Mono's Law. You know, he could be the muscle to Law's aim or brains or whatever else. 6 with anyone, like 6 with Alone or 6 with Law, she's just going to eat them, isn't she? You know, it's 6. So for as resourceful as 6 is, I feel like she's a bit of a lone wolf, and she's really good and capable when she's by herself, when she's on her own. But if you team her up with somebody, she'll end up killing them or betraying them, or something will go wrong. You know, she'll I called it the first time I played Little Nightmares 2. After we killed the doctor, we cooked him, and I watched her warming her hands on the fire, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna eat me, isn't she? And then sure enough, about an hour later, she left me to my doom, and I'm just like, oh, well, thank you, cool, called it. Somebody better pick up that phone. Yeah, so that was that. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. Mono and Law, just because I feel like them two would make the best team. They complement each other's styles. They're both, well, as far as we know about Law, they're both like kind and caring, resourceful, and they both have different strengths. But it's difficult to spot a weakness between them. Because Mono's weakness, arguably, is that he had too much empathy for 6. So he was constantly trying to save her and everything, like when it was detrimental to his own well-being. Whereas Law, I can't imagine Law would end up killing Mono or abandoning him. But I don't know. We don't know Law particularly well yet. But I think that was my choice as well. Mono and Alone a close second, but yeah, I couldn't agree more that 6 with anyone is a bad idea. 78 votes. Not a bad run, guys. Not a bad run at all. 6 is going for a shower. No worries, 6. You go cool off. Girlie, you're talking like me. Mono and Law both have powers. Together they are masked menaces. Yeah, they are like the Avengers. Dipsy, do you have any siblings? And if you do, is one of them named B2? Jeez, what a bizarre evening. It really has been, guys. But it's been really nice. I've really enjoyed it. It's been super cool to chill with you and just, like, you know, spend my birthday doing what I love to do. And, you know, getting back into this, thinking about Little Nightmares on this level. And, of course, catching up with all of you guys. Letting you know that I still exist and there are projects in the works. Oh, yeah, it's really good to have a chat with you guys. Gemini, can you mew? No. I will not. I will not. Kind of bugs me how none of the kids in the series never have normal names. My best guess is I think that it's true because it does the nowhere can affect the memories, kind of like Jester. Like it kind of takes your soul, doesn't it? When you're in the nowhere for a while, it sort of takes who you are. So like Jester went into the nowhere and he's like, oh, I'm never without a joke. But he never ever once delivers a punchline because it's sort of taken his personality from him, and he's like slowly fading away. I feel like that's the same as what happened to Six, maybe. But that also might be why they just make up their own names or seemingly have like strange names. Because imagine if it's like, this is our protagonist and he's the main character and he has superpowers. What's his name? John. It's kind of like, you know, Mono stands out, doesn't it? Mono, Six, Alone, Low. You're never questioning which Low, which Mono, you know. But if I said to you, oh, you know that character from that game I really like, John. It's like, yeah. It doesn't have the same impact as a really diverse kind of name will. Put the knife down, Six. Poor Six, no one wants to team up with her. I couldn't possibly understand why. Nah, man, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. She's so kind and friendly and lovable. You know, yeah, she gets a bit bitey now and again, but so what? Fire Fun Time, what's up? Welcome to the stream. If we see Six in Little Nightmares 3 and she has a lady's powers, I hope she looks more like a monster from the powers or something. Yeah, I hope that they mess with her appearance a little bit. You know, even if it's something very subtle. You know, like something in her face or the way she carries herself, or maybe she could be outgrowing the raincoat a little bit. So like she still wears it, but it's too small. So like her arms, like the raincoat maybe only comes down to there. So her arms kind of dangle Neanderthalish out of the end of it. Like, and her fingers are kind of distended and her hair's a bit like halfway between Monster Six and the Six we know. Just as definitely a nickname he adopted. Yeah, for sure, right? Gemini, can you griddy? I don't know what a griddy is. I'm old, Nightmare. No more Fipsy Law. I'll have to release Fipsy B, the original. Yeah, just Fipsy B. Fipsy B3. Yeah, soon to be Fipsy B3. Kind of like in a real dream where we can't remember or don't acknowledge our name. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Gemini, what would have happened to the Thin Man if he escaped and never kidnapped anyone? Ooh, I don't know. What do you think would have happened? Like, what would have happened to him? I'm not really sure. Like, it's strange to think, like, would he revert back to his old way of thinking? You know, would he be a good guy if he escaped, or would he still hold a grudge? Alexander, are you happy that we were able to see the adventure of different characters in Little Nightmares 3? Yes, absolutely. Because although I am absolutely in love with Six and Mono and the Runaway Kid and all the characters that we've grown to know and love over the series' lifespan, I do think that the nowhere is the focus of Little Nightmares. Not any one character in particular. Like, some series will follow the story of a character. I'll use God of War as an example. Every single game follows the story of Kratos, the protagonist, the main character, and his story from start to finish, and it is exceptionally well done, but everything is based around him and his life, and that's what makes it interesting. The interesting part about the God of War series is him as a character and his development over the years, whereas Little Nightmares isn't just about Six. It never was. She was just the first and most consistent character. But it's not just her that makes the Nowhere what it is. Now, if she had some overarching influence on the Nowhere, like if she was the main character and the entirety of the Nowhere was based on Six's nightmares and solely Six's nightmares, then yeah, that would give her more semblance in that, like, oh, why aren't we following Six's story? It doesn't answer any questions to look at Law alone or Mona or anyone like that. But I feel like Six isn't necessarily the meat of the matter. I think the Nowhere holds more lore and more to discover than Six does as an individual. I think Six's story is relevant, but it's just one small facet of a multifaceted diamond that this could be. Yeah, so great question, Alexander. And yeah, I am enthused that we're going to see different characters. As much as I do love Six and the original characters, and I wouldn't change them, then yeah, that's brilliant. Where are we? Hope Six doesn't show up at all. Yeah, some people don't even want to see Six. I do, because she's my favourite character, but like, I'd love to see some older characters returning. Which concept of the Nowhere is based on a nightmare? I think all of them. I think everything that we see in the Nowhere is based on a nightmare, because all nightmares are to us as human beings are manifestations of difficult situations. Like, I think that nightmares, like as we experience them as human beings in everyday life, are a defense mechanism. Nightmares are designed to throw us into what could be a life-threatening situation more frequently than we would face them regularly, so as to train ourselves how we would handle one of these situations should they occur. Now, because we have evolved to such a degree where we're not constantly being hunted by a saber-toothed tiger, you know, the chances of us actually getting eaten by some kind of like prehistoric beast are pretty slim, then the chances of us having to fight for our life on a day-to-day basis is relatively small by comparison. But from an evolutionary perspective, we take tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years to evolve. So we've never got out of the habit of dreaming about these terrifying situations. But the human mind can only imagine something it's already seen in some capacity. Like, you cannot imagine a new face. Even if you're an artist, which I know a lot of you are, if you were to try and draw a person you've never seen, you would, and you could succeed, but that person would be made up of pieces of other people that you have seen. I'll give you an example. Try to imagine a colour you've never seen. I'll wait. Impossible, right? Even though you're now thinking, well, you know, what if you mix red and green? Okay, well, okay, well, what about yellow and blue? All right, well, what if you mix red, green, yellow, and blue? What if you mix... all you're doing is getting different shades of colours you've already seen. Because on our spectrum, we've seen all the colours that we are capable of seeing. Maybe not every shade, but if you haven't seen that particular shade, it's because the human eye is not capable of seeing it, because we only have 3 conical receptors in our eyes. So when photons are bouncing off objects and giving us what we see and perceive as colour, we only see them in so many dimensions, or under so many formats. So it's impossible for a human being to imagine something they've never seen. So getting back to dreams, when you're in a dream, your nightmares are made up of stuff that, although you've never been attacked by a werewolf, probably, you can still have a nightmare about it. Because you can imagine what that's like after watching a horror movie. But it will be a concept of a werewolf that you have seen, at least in some capacity. It might be a blended up image of like 4 different werewolves that you've seen over the course of your life. But it's still not a real situation. And the way that translates to the Nowhere is... the reason Nowhere is so like such an amalgamation, and it doesn't seem to make any sense, and things are like so uncanny and eerily familiar, is because they are manifestations of things that these children, these characters, have experienced through their lives and are being projected into the Nowhere and made real by what exists in their mind. So I think all of the Nowhere is that. Sorry, that was a really long-winded way to answer that question, but they're my thoughts on it. Gemini, should I get a cat that's orange and put it on his head? On Fipsy's head, yes, absolutely, go right ahead. Gemini, I got a question. How do I get the Little Nightmares font in a video while editing? So if you go to Google and type in font meme, it will take you to a website that lets you create fonts, and there are thousands of different ones to choose from. Click on the word collections in the top right corner, scroll down to the search bar and type in the word Amatic, Amatic. And then scroll down, you'll find a font called Enigmatic SC. It's about the 5th one down. If you click on that, that is the Little Nightmares font. That's what I use. Bloody hell, what's it bloody done? I'll bloody show you. Bloody look. Which way are we going to overcome Giant Baby? Escaping it, killing it, eventually killing it, or getting killed by another monster? I think we're going to have to escape it, because I can't see us killing that thing. Maybe eventually killing it would be a close second, and it being killed by another monster I don't see happening, because I don't recall seeing anything that could even remotely take that. Monster Baby would just annihilate everything so far. Unless it operates the same way as the guests and everything does, in which case the lady could just come and suck its soul straight out. Okay, let's see. Finish it into the last chat live. I have a nightmare about people trying to kill me like a cow. Oh yeah, no, horrible. 6, yeah, I saw. Trust me, 6, you saw. And you're super mad. Trust, we heard you. Who gave 6 the power to delete her own comments? Hi, hi. I love how RJ's just playing along with this now. Like, he's just trolling. I had this one nightmare where if you leaned into the walls, you went into a realm that was a physical form of digitalness. There was code everywhere, no gravity. It was this fleshy, milky... That sounds awesome. Like, I know that was your nightmare, Electromang, and I'm sorry that it was frightening for you, but that sounds absolutely dope. That would be a really cool concept to make into a video game. By the way, in Twitter, like 2 years ago, the devs confirmed that 6 is not the daughter of the lady. Ah, so it has been confirmed by the developers, so she is not the daughter. So then there is still a chance that she's the... See, I didn't think she was, because the picture of the girl on the wall, that girl is actually the flashlight girl. Even though she's wearing a yellow raincoat, and when we find her, she's not. But again, I've got a whole theory dedicated to that, so I won't get too into it now. If you guys are interested, though, we do find the girl in that picture. And if you watch my flashlight theory, I'll tell you what happened to her. Must be the work of a stand user. The world! The dream was dope. Yeah, it sounds it. An ad played while you're answering my question. Ah, devastated. Which one? Which question did you ask? Go. Let me just... Go Games Gemini, I got a question. Oh, never. Okay, cool. So I'll say it one more time. So you want to go to... In fact, I'll type it out as I go. So you want to go to Google. Okay. Google font meme. And then... go to this collections tab, then the search bar, and type in Enigmatic SC. There. Oh, not SC, but you get it. Font meme, collections tab, and search the words, type in the search bar Enigmatic. That is the Little Nightmares font. 6, if you'd like, I could delete all of your messages. He could, don't tempt him, he has the power. He is our own in-house monster, the Moderator. That is his thing, he can make you disappear. He did it as well. Oops, I gotta go. Yeah, good idea. He's just that's it, yeah. Don't worry. Lord, what are you doing this when you weren't here? Deleted, lol. Yeah, it's 6. It's probably a good job you've got to go, because I've got a feeling that he's just gonna literally, because he absolutely is that guy. He will go through this entire chat log and he will delete every single message systematically until you cease to exist. But yeah, 6, it's been great to have you. I'm really glad you showed up. Thanks for popping in and spamming us and having some fun. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Once I had one that was normal, but things like making sounds in my walls. When I delete, it says it was deleted by you. Yes, it does. It specifies who deleted them. She was being run through experiments, and Otto was a patient as well as being mistreated. Interesting. Now, cool. So as far as downloading it goes, it depends on what softwares you've got, and they're probably different to mine, but the easiest way I find to use it isn't to download the font itself, it's to use the website. The website actually has, if you scroll down, so you've clicked on Enigmatic, on collections, you click on Enigmatic, and then you scroll down, and it'll give you like a thing, like there's a tool that you can use that lets you type it in, so you can type in what you want, and it'll show you. Right, guys, we're over 3 hours in now, and I am hungry, and I'm going to go make some food. But, well, I'm actually going to eat cake. That's my plan. I said I'm going to eat food. I'm so used to saying I'll make food. I'm not. I'm going to go get my cake out of the fridge. But I am going to have to call it a stream for today, guys, but I really, really appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. If you haven't already, please drop me a little thumbs up on this video just to let me know that you've liked it and that you still want to see some more of me and that you don't want the YouTube algorithm to forget that I exist. And yeah, Plasmatic, I'm sorry. I keep on I keep missing the meat of it and just reading the last word. I'm really sorry, bro. Well, you have to get on. If Plasmatic, if you're on Discord at all, feel free to send me like a giant message. Or better yet, Plasmatic, if you've got a long theory that you want me to read, just find one of my regular videos, like the DLC video that I just put out a couple of weeks back. Maybe go to the comment section in that and type out the whole theory, because I do read them. I do, and I will read it, and I will probably reply. But if you really want me to see it, then yeah. Type it in there. That would be the best place for it to get read, I think. Because while I do these streams with the intention of reading them all and then getting back to you in real time, I'm not always able to do it. But yeah, if you really want me to read it, feel free to pop to another video and just type it out or copy paste it or whatever it is you want to do. I'll read it and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. I can't promise a fast response, but I will try, I promise you. And I do apologise for that. Yeah, okay then, guys. That's got to be it for me. But thank you all so much. I really appreciate you, and I can see them extra likes coming in as well. So thanks for the little thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you haven't already rang the bell, that notification bell, give it a little ring and make sure you've got all notifications on, because I've got some pretty big things coming up that some of them have been discussed in this stream, and others haven't. But you're not going to want to miss them. So stick with me, stay tuned. Thank you so much for all of the love and support with regards to Mama Gemini. I will be showing her some of the chat log and sharing some of what your kind words and such with her. But yeah, thank you all so much. It's been really nice having you all here. Happy birthday to me, huh? Bye, Gemini. I love the stream today. Yeah, create a shout out video is coming up as well. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you, each and every one of you. It's been great. What a stream. Big W's in the chat for everybody. Big W's in. And I will see you all next time. But until then, that's game over.